Oh, hi everyone and welcome to this Academy Day. The first stream since we've reset fucking everything. So expect occasionally something that doesn't work. Maybe one of your favorite commands, the quotes are gone. Hopefully we've got all of the OBS side stuff working, but bear with us before we go around and say hello to all of these wonderful faces around the screen. Let's start by testing our intro commands. First of all, please check out our social links. Oh. There we go. Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Come and join us in there. Discord, talk about TTRPGs and other things. Twitter, send me a DM, I'll get you a game. And YouTube, thousands of hours of content to catch up on. I should actually update that link, because I have a much shorter, nicer looking link to give you now. Anyway, that's a thing something to do later on. Also, check out our sponsors, Hero Forge. There we go. Hero Forge, where you can create your own magical minis. Alice must have all of my stuff. Anyway, yeah, you can create magical minis, and on Wednesdays now at 2 PM, you can see us playing with the new Color Mini Creator Beta. There's a channel in the Discord where I've already uploaded all the ones I did this Wednesday, and we're going to run out of characters eventually, so we'll probably start taking requests at some point as well. So, yeah. Also, check out Mayhem Press for all of your D&D expansion requirements. Or should I say 5e requirements for copyright? Something like that. Anyway, go and check them out. Loads of fun stuff over there. They've got 25% discount on all their PDFs at the moment. You can see the Faith Folio on Wednesdays at 6 PM EDT in the Downside Up game. Also, check out the Deck of Many. The Deck of Many Things is a donation reward today. Would I throw that at New DM? Yes, I would. I also didn't warn you about that, John, so think fast.
Oh, great.
The Deck of Many, also you can see their Humblewood campaign on Thursdays at 6 PM EDT. And also our newest sponsor, Dungeon Fog. You can create magical maps with... Magical's like my buzzword at the minute. Comprehensive maps. They update dynamic GM notes as you update the maps to print out. And you can do all sorts of fun stuff. If you like the free tool, consider upgrading to premium using our 10% discount using the code Scratticus. That's enough babble from me. Let's go around and say hello to everyone and start with our wonderful Dungeon Master, John at RY0MASA.
Oh, you didn't say the thing, so I get to say the thing. Oh, hi! So, I'm John. I am RY0MASA on Twitter, RY0MASA. I'm also the only person not playing D&D today, apparently, so Dungeon Master's a bit of a misnomer. But we're playing Fate Core. We're taking what is essentially my stab at the Lancer RPG, which is another mech RPG, but I didn't have time to learn it because I am a grad student. So I'm running it in something that I know. Anyways, I play on this channel on Thursdays in the new Acadia Nights game for Urban Shadows at 9:30 PM EST. I also play on Unmade Gaming in the Thrall D&D 5e, like, gritty, angry murder fantasy campaign on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock PM. And then I write a whole bunch of stuff when I'm not writing a thesis. But enough on me. Let's talk to players, and let's go to, I guess, I'm going to go down to clockwising, so go to Kent.
I'm so bad at this every time. Hi, Kent Weaves here. I'm a variety streamer here. I've been awake for about 19 or 20 minutes now. I will be playing this person of intrigue and aloofness named Landon Storm. More will continue about Landon Storm when I realize I'm awake. I'm a variety streamer. I've been on this channel. This actually is my first time on this channel. What? First stream ever? Okay, moving on. Next to the one next to me. I think it's yeah.
I'll help you out. I think it's me. Oh, we gonna have fun today.
We're so good at this, everybody. Let's go.
Pro stream.
First time here. First time ever. Nope. Never been here before.
Hey, it's Noir Enigma. You can find me on all the socials, Noir. I am playing Catcher Reeves, call sign Patriot. And that'll be fun. If the character concept comes through as I hope, I think we'll all have a good laugh. And now I'm gonna move it on to the next one.
Oh, hey! I think I'm next. Hey, I'm Ray. I'm with a brick on the interwebs. You can find me there for cool things that I do. I'm on this channel Tuesday nights. I run a D&D 5e campaign set in my homebrew world, and it's really fun and it's really great. So if you're interested, stop by. But today, I am playing Adoria Murdoch, or her call sign Banshee. She is a dedicated army brat ready to kill some shit with her mech. I'm excited. I'm so excited to be here, to be very honest. So I'm ready. Let's go.
Hi everyone, I'll be playing Rusty. Real name far too long to memorize. I'm going to be playing the hot mess trash boy, as probably everyone else is. Yeah, this'll be fun. My whole character concept is based on a Bollywood style Peugeot 206 advert.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. That's about it, actually.
Content warning. We have a content warning. I did manage to see. Look at me getting all these commands sorted, and they work too. Check out the content warning there. There's a couple of extra things in there that I probably should have added, like mech stuff, but this covers most of it. And also retweet the tweet because it really helps us out. Yes. Let's hand over to you, John. Show's yours.
Oh, he says, pulling up a Google Doc he forgot to open 5 minutes ago. Hey, all right, we're good. So, this is Vault of Heaven. War currently rages across known space. The Kaliska Coalition expands every day, and the Sodality of Saren gives up ground with every loss they suffer. Now, the planet of Firmament, as they say, is the proverbial eye of the storm. It's a world on the dwindling board of Sodality, and it has been held in a fragile peace, mostly facilitated by the fact that it hasn't stuck its head up enough to be hammered down quite yet. And we are going to open on the barracks of the 23rd Mechanized Cadet Corps, where all of our incredibly competent and extremely ready pilots are potentially sleeping. It's about 4 a.m. So question, is everyone trying to sleep, or can some people not?
By 4 a.m., Ketcher is probably starting his early morning routine of, push-ups, running around.
Like 1,000 clap push-ups, just like that meme.
Yeah,
Nice.
Ed would be doing the same thing. She would be getting up like right as the sun is up. She'd be working out. She'd be preparing for the day, a little meditation. Like she's up and at it.
Okay.
Yeah, Landon doesn't really get much sleep to begin with, so he's already been looking at the mechs, and he's been tinkering on his mech, and if the others have asked him to do any like work on theirs, he's like doing a little updates and BIOS repairs and all of that, and firmware updates and status updates and relationship updates and all of that stuff, and how they, and like the matrices and the biases. He's doing all of that early in the morning. I don't know how I do it, but like that's how I'm doing it.
Everyone knows that.
I didn't warn Kent before we started, but our characters may have a small rivalry. Because I am determined not to be outdone for you. I'm a much more car mechanic style repair person, trying to prove that I'm every bit as good at repairing shit as you. So I'm up just as early as you. I probably slept in one of the mechs. You know,
I see you sleeping in your mech, and I'm just like, there is Rusty, just being a badass. Because myself, I'm just like, Rusty's such a great guy. I think Rusty's great. He has such a good drive, and he's so smart. I think we have a great friendship going, and for the last 6 months, it really is just a rivalry from Rusty's thoughts. And Landon's like, yeah, we're doing this as a team together. We're working on these mechs. We're doing all this science shit together. Hoorah, brother!
I'm like, yeah, hoorah.
They were unrequited rivals. So, all right. So it's about, a few minutes go by. It's early enough in the morning that the base is starting to move around. and then through the sort of barracks of your specific corps, an alarm goes off, and that only means one of two things: one, you're actively getting shot at, or two, early morning drill. And so, you start to see sort of like other cadets sort of start to assemble in sort of the meeting hall and sort of like running towards it. Like there's some people pulling shirts on, and some people who very clearly were just asleep until just now, in various states of getting ready. And when you arrive, if you arrive on time, you will see that one of your sort of commanding officers in the training program is standing at the head of your corps, waiting for everyone to show up. So does everyone arrive on time, or does somebody show up late?
I will either arrive. Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I'll either arrive at the same time or just before as Landon.
Love this so
Okay,
much.
so are we reporting where our mechs are?
So you're reporting for like a briefing hall, which is going to be adjacent to where the mech hangar is. So it's going to be slightly off to one side. It's not in the actual hangar per se.
All right. I'd probably be like right on time, like right as the bells go off. I'm just like, oh, okay, let's go, and then I'm there.
Quick question: Is this a meeting that we knew we were gonna have, or is this kind of like
This is sprung on you sort of at the start here.
All right,
It's
so
actually a little earlier than the horn would normally go off.
as soon as the horn goes off, he is haul-assing his way there to be the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as the bell goes off, like Adori is probably like putting up her hair, just like doing something. She's like, oh crap, and runs out the door as she's still like getting ready, but like is trying to be there as promptly as possible as well.
Okay. All right. So basically, so like Patriot and Banshee, you both arrive just around the same time as each other, just to get there like right on time. You're probably one of the first people there. I think Landon and Rusty arrive around the same time. They both left the hangar at the same time, from what I'm telling. Landon was like, oh, it's time to go, and left. And then Rusty saw Landon leave, and then jogged a couple steps ahead, and then slowed to a walk right as he hit the door. Just to be like, no, totally me first. Made it.
So I was totally like watching out to see if he gets any last minute repairs in to try and get an extra edge, and when he doesn't, and I'm catching up.
Yep. So you both hit the door frame at about the same time, just enough to almost crash. It took Rusty sort of like elbow your way in to get in a little bit sooner than Landon.
At this point, Landon's like, by all means, go first.
Thank you, Rusty. Hey, that's what we're going with. I didn't know where it came from, but there it is. That's him.
So
That's
I'd like
Rusty.
to point out real quick.
Why do I always
Rusty.
get a Scottish man Scratticus with you? Every time I play with you, it's always Scottish, unless it was Ryutama.
I can change it up if you like. I can change it up. Hang on.
No.
The accent's fine. I would just like to point out that you were Rusty. Okay, just want to say you're thanking yourself. That's all I wanted to throw that out. That's cool. Just wanted to throw that out. Just, you know where we are this morning.
Do we not all do that? I think myself all the time.
Cool. Just making sure it's intentional.
You're welcome, Landon. You're welcome.
Yeah. So you both hit the door, and there's like this awkward moment of surprising like politeness and sort of cordiality here. And from the front, Officer Marek is like, "All right, if you two are done, do we like hurry it up? Come on." So, once everyone's sort of settled in, fallen in, he turns to all of you and says, as some of you may know, we recently lost a major battle on Sevis 5. That planet's not too far from here. For those of you who weren't paying any fucking attention, most of the Coalition forces seem to move on to different targets. There's plenty of other things to hit around here other than, the one Mech Academy we have on this planet. However, we have seen some reports. There are some Coalition forces moving towards Firmament, and that's not great for anybody. We're hoping, and all reports seem to indicate that they're going to pass right on by, move to a different target. Now, normally we'd move to intercept them all, but considering y'all are still cadets, that could potentially end badly for, well, you. So, Landon, this isn't a fucking preschool. What?
Sir, we're still waiting on the fiber optics that we're supposed to have for our mechs. I don't know how we can do anything without more fiber optics for our mechs. And the SATA cables are not as well versed as they should be. Sir, we've been waiting 3 months for these.
Actually, if you just take some pencils and some sellotape, you can make this thing even faster than fiber optics called graphene, Landon. You might not have heard of it, but I've been kitting my mech out with that.
That is not the time.
I've been we put in 17 requests in the last 2 months for these, though, sir. When are we gonna get a shipment in? I'm sorry. I know we're in a briefing and this is really important, but our mechs need to work efficiently when we're out there.
All right.
Sorry, sir. Sir, I'm sorry. I was out of line.
Landon, I'm putting provoke on your sheet. So roll me some provoke. You've got it at a good.
Okay. Where is my sheet at? Hey, sheet. How you doing, buddy? Do I just click provoke?
Yeah, you just click the little square icon thingy there on the bottom.
All right. I rolled a 4.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So Murdoch kind of looks at you with a face that he doesn't say anything overtly, but everything about him just says, "Did you interrupt my fucking briefing to give me a logistics inventory report at 4:30 in the morning?" And then he just sort of pinches the bridge of his nose and says, "Rusty,
Hey!
do the mechs still fucking work?"
Yep!
And then
Yes, sir!
turns to you, Lynn, and gives you like a pointed glance of later, and then turns back to the rest of you.
You see like that
Smug
anime
face.
like whoop.
Glowing.
Yeah.
My crops watered.
I've got the chance to prove I'm better. And so Murdoch turns to Rusty and says, "Well, now that we've established that your mechs still function, we are going to run a quick exercise this morning just to make sure everyone's ready in case something goes horribly wrong." Yes, Landon.
Sir, I just want to point out, have you seen Rusty's bucket of a mech? Have you seen what he's done to that mech?
Landon, no.
Yeah, Adoria like looks over just like with this like he's gonna get kicked out.
He's gonna
And
get
just,
us in trouble.
And just like kind of like rubs her temples very quickly, but still tries to like stand at attention and be as calm as can be.
Just like a really like.
Yeah.
Patriot is saluting for no reason. He's like nervous as fuck.
Patriot is saluting for Landon. Landon, roll me
like-
provoke again.
Sure. I don't know where this is coming from though.
Neither do I, but it's happening.
It's a 2.
I'm gonna
this.
share the
All right.
YouTube video that my character is based on, just so everyone has a good idea of roughly what
The
my
rust
mech
bucket
looks
that is
like.
actually Rusty's mech.
Like he
okay.
took a perfectly good mech unit and turned it into that.
All of you knew it nearly identically resembles one of the high-tech medical mechs. Thank you very much. Nearly identical.
Mm-hmm. In silhouette alone.
And actually true. And Landon,
Yes, sir.
shut up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. Sir, keep going with the briefing about things doing and things, and you're doing great so far. I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna get reprimanded later. I know. And he's for the next like 2 minutes, he like has a verbal diarrhea of the mouth that like he knows he should shut up because this is probably a very important briefing, but like he just can't stop talking.
So for about 2 minutes, Landon's like stumbling, anxiety-induced like ramble of apology just goes, and there's just, you know, it like you get like the small cut to like one of the consoles. The light's just blinking solemnly while this happens. There's just a quick pan across every other cadet, and everyone's kind of looking at each other like, what is happening? Oh no. And so after about 2.5 minutes of this, Murdoch has mostly waited for it to run its course at this point, just to let Landon continue digging himself the hole deeper and deeper. And evidently has come to the realization that at this point, Landon will dig to the other side of the planet before he is done. And just walks up to you, puts a hand on your shoulder,
Sir,
and
then
spins you around
sometime
and walks you out of the briefing room.
So they'll keep me appraised afterwards. I'll stay out.
Landon, wait in the fucking hall.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure and honor of this morning, and
the door just slams like in your face as you are continuing to talk.
But I say it's a nice day outside.
And then like just an angry like several knocks on the door from inside. Just Landon, shut up! Jesus! And then he walks back inside. And then sort of like goes back to the front, sort of adjusts his jacket. Like, right. So, where the fuck was I? Right. Early morning training. Okay. We're running a training exercise today, just to make sure you all are prepared for an emergency eventuality. You've got 15 minutes to get in your mechs, suit up, and we'll be ready for maneuvers in 0445. Any questions?
Would we have had more time to prepare if Landon didn't talk?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like,
I just want to point out that this has probably been 6 months of this. Like,
the fact that Landon has not been kicked out has mostly been due to the fact that he is actually good at fixing things. And everyone mostly realizes that he's not going further into the army. He's going sidetracking into the engineer corps at best at this point. But Murdoch sort of dismisses the class, and if you are paying enough attention as he's walking off, you can make a notice roll if you want to hear what he's muttering on the way out the door.
I would. Yes, I would.
Okay.
Where do we find that? Because yes,
it's
please.
I don't think you have notice. You can put
Oh
notice
no,
at
I
3
don't.
if
I
you
did,
want.
and then I deleted it.
That's okay. So you can roll notice at a +0. It doesn't matter. Fate assumes you have all the skills you don't have at a base 0 anyways.
Okay,
Yep,
so then
I
what
rolled
would
a 1.
How would I do that?
That's a good question. So you would just roll
A D4?
No, there's an actual thing. You just roll 4. It's just 4df / roll 4df.
Okay, / roll.
Yep, roll 20's already started with me today, y'all.
Okay. So, all right. So what happens is, Benchy, you hear Murdoch sort of muttering to himself as he walks like past the cadet line and back out through the fucking door, but you don't quite hear exactly what he said. But Kent, Landon is outside the door that Murdoch walks through at the end, and Murdoch sort of stops, like gives Landon a horrendously dirty glance, and then turns to the left, and you hear him walking, wondering like 30 more fucking seconds of like fucking good speech, couldn't fucking wait, and like just keeps walking down the fucking hall because it took him maybe a minute and a half to finish after you were done. In fact, his actual briefing took less time than anything you said.
Okay, Loki, in Landon's mind, like, he doesn't want to be here. He was forced to come into this program.
Yep.
Because he got turned away from the Science Corps division. And so, like, he's doing anything he can to get transferred into the Science Corps division because, like, he wants to be on R&D, not in mech training school.
Yep.
And so he should be doing the nice thing of like just being a great officer for a cadet for him, but no.
I see the world's tiniest violin. So y'all have about 15 minutes to get ready. So you're gonna end up in the mech hangar at some point or another. So what do y'all do to get ready? What's your thing to get into this mech? What's your process?
The gearing up scene from Batman Forever.
Nice.
Putting on his mech pilot gear, prolonged butt shots. Just the classic getting ready for action scenes.
Beautiful. Just a little bit of fan service mixed in. Just excellent. Wonderful.
Adrian has wonderful cheeks.
That's Space America's ass.
So, Adoria would go straight to her mech. Everything that she needs is there already. And so, Ed is about 5'10". She's got like long red hair and it's shaved on both sides. So she keeps her hair in like a messy bun mohawk in the back, and she puts on her mech pilot gear, and her mech is, it's called the Banshee, and it is a very tall, matte purple, shimmery mech. It resembles the Banshee from Halo. So when it flies, it also has like that ghostly blue-white kind of like mist that trails off of it. And on the back, between the shoulder blades, there's like an eyeball sigil. And it kind of looks like an ender eye from Minecraft, but it's just like a circular eyeball. And she's just kind of like cleaning the parts that still need to be cleaned, just doing like last minute checks, basically spending as much time as she can like tinkering, making sure everything is perfect.
Rusty was issued a standard issue Cadets mech. Rusty saw a picture of a high-tech mechanics mech and wanted his mech to look like that. Now the chassis was nothing alike, so he did a little hammer surgery on it to make it look the same. And that is how his mech looks. He so his version of getting ready, I think he actually he puts on a pair of like, I think it's like, like how what are they called? Like the all-in-one suits like with suspenders. What am I talking about? You know what they're called? Come on, what are they called?
Oh god.
Dungarees? Yeah, dungarees.
Sure.
Yeah. So like his getting ready is pretty much like climbing into like a set of like dungarees, but the straps don't go over his shoulders. The straps go into like the top, so it's probably incredibly uncomfortable. But he would never tell anyone. Just doing like light system checks. Maybe, there's a light that's blinking, so he just taps it, turns the light off. Okay, we're ready.
Landon, what about you?
All right, so Landon's mech, he took a lot of time and hours into revitalizing and revamping the cadet mech. It's now like this kind of like Horus or like Anubis-y looking mech with like black, purples, and gold. He set in some like phasers and right here, and like it flies with like these cool and so all he has to do is like jump into the back of it, like because it pops out in the back and there's like a whole cockpit right there and it pushes back in. If you've seen Code Geass, you know who Gawain is. That is the mech Gawain. He is Gawain to a T. Yeah. And so it's a beautiful mech that he put like 70 hours into a day. Yes, he put 70 hours a day into this mech to get it to where it's at right now.
Awesome. So you have... Actually, that's a good question. Next question. Noir, what does Patriot look like? Because we've gotten descriptions of other mechs for everybody. So what does Patriot look like?
So Patriot is it is a massive humanoid looking mech. It's got the firmament flag as like a cloak, a giant fucking revolver on a holster on its hip. Its head has like a fashioned cowboy hat. It's got a machine gun on the back, like strapped to his back. It's got a Tommy gun like built in on its left hand. It just has guns for days. and it's probably got some like just tucked away like crazy hua type messaging all over it, like, you know, these colors don't run, you know, that kind of stuff.
Someone like when someone's designing Patriots Mech, they're like, "What kind of aesthetic was he looking for?" He's like, "Guns and
Walmart.
slogans."
If Walmart was a mech, that is what Patriot is riding in.
Oh my
god, the shade. The shade of it all. Where's my fan so I can fan myself with that shade?
Goodness.
Jesus. So, okay, so picture, if you will, you've got Rusty's like compacted facsimile of the mech that he saw in like a log or a dossier and was like, that's what this should look like. And it's just this hodgepodge mess of sort of improvised materials and bits that maybe don't even function, but they're just there to make the silhouette look better. Then you have Landon's Gawain, which is a painstakingly hand modified piece of gorgeous machinery that is like built to be the vision of what he wants. You have Banshee, which is a dark, sleek, purple killing machine, and then you have Robot McCree.
I just want to say for canon that Landon is in love with the ability and precision that Ed put into their Banshee, and he's just like, every time he sees it, he's like, that is one of the best I've seen in a while. And then rolls his eyes at Rusty's every single time.
Did everyone else name their mechs?
Oh yeah, I think we did. We got names for everybody. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What's the name of your mech, Scrat?
You might hear Rusty climbing in, like maybe like just giving a little pat, like there, Veronica. This is gonna be great.
Yes, everyone else's mechs are names that are similar to their call signs, and Rusty's is just Veronica, which is great. So yeah, we have Gawain, Patriot, Banshee, and Veronica getting ready to hit the field of battle. Oh boy. And as you sort of get that cutaway, as you sort of step up to the step into the mechs and get ready and sort of step up out of the hangar and turn, getting ready to leave, you get that wonderful cutaway shot to Murnock in like the command post, just looking at these four and just, oh my god. Right. Okay. And so you hear like a crackle in the comms in your mechs, and goes, "All right. Well, today all of you are going to be going up against some of the army reserves. We're going to let some of the vets take a crack at you. It'll be as close to simulating real combat as we possibly can, preferably without anybody dying. But you know, don't do anything stupid."
Sir, are the R&D here today or no?
R&D is busy dealing with the earthquake that hit our base, Landon, which you should know if you read a memo ever.
Right. Thank you, sir. It's a good morning for and he just turns off his thing and just keeps talking. God damn it, I can never make a full functioning sentence to the
Oh boy. So you step out, and what we're going to do is we're going to hit a training field in a hot second. So the way this is going to work, for those of you who have never played Fate Core, because I know it's in the systems people don't tend to play, there is an initiative, but it isn't actually an initiative. You're all going to roll Notice, and what that is, that's going to give you the idea to see what's on the battlefield, react quicker to it, and get yourself a plan of action faster. So everyone roll me some Notice, which would, if you don't have it, just /4 DF in the roll plan.
Roll20 is determined to make sure that I do not roll higher than a fucking 1 on a skill that I am trained in.
Look what just happened to Kent, though.
How do you
Jesus.
roll? Like when you have, because I just.
Oh, if you have it, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think your sheet might still be on edit mode. So if you toggle the edit mode up the top there, you unclick the checkbox.
Is Landon
You'll get a
just
bunch of
having a
boxes next
panic attack while like working his mech
Okay, got
tonight?
it.
Yep. See how we do here. All right. Good starts.
Good start, -3. Good start.
All right, so we've got Banshee at a 4. We've got Patriot at a 1. We've got Veronica at a 0, and Gawain at a -3. Good spread, everybody. Good spread. Ooh. Okay.
Thank you for the sub, Lone Wolf. 67.
Hey.
Yay!
X. So Banshee, you're actually gonna take point on this one because you got moved first. So you basically right now what you see is right now it looks a bit like it's a bit of an open field. It's one you're used to. There's been a bunch of sort of false obstacles set up in the way, like facsimiles of buildings, and sort of like it's sort of built up to represent an urban environment. And you'll mostly know that like they're big sort of like trash constructs. They don't actually have anything in them per se. But your instructors have like trapped them before. So that might be a thing that is still on the field. You're not sure. It's a configuration you haven't seen before. But somewhere lurking out there, and you'll sort of, and you know this, you'll sort of hear Murdoch fire up in the comms and say, "All right, folks, we've got 4 targets on radar. Your job is to eliminate all 4." So, what are you up to? What's your plan?
Are we going in like order, or do we just talking tactics?
Yeah, so it'll be in order. So you can talk tactics if you want to, and then sort of adjust accordingly. I'll give you the opportunity to do that because you do have comms. That's fine. But it'll be Banshee, and then Patriot, then Rusty, then Veronica, then Gawain.
I think a Banshee would like calm to everybody and just be like, heading around through the side. Somebody go straight forward, I'll come up the back. And like she'll start trying to like stealth her way around to get into a stealthy position between a couple of them if possible.
Awesome. So roll me a stealth check to do that, and we'll see what we get here. We'll keep that in mind for a minute. You're basically going to be, so what you're mostly doing is there is a stealth. It's a stealth check question mark. It doesn't mean you don't just roll for stealth. You're actually trying to create an advantage. And what that means is it'll give you something that you can use as a bonus to defend against someone trying to notice you.
Okay, so how would I roll for that if I have stealth as one of my mech sort of skills?
If you have stealth as one of your mech skills, so you're going to roll your base stealth, whatever that is on your pilot, and then we'll add a +1 to whatever that is because it's one of your mech skills.
Oh, okay. Then I think I might have done this a little wrong, but that is okay. Just give me
That's okay.
1 hot second to figure it out. Because I don't have it on my sheet because I wasn't sure if it was a separate skill than
it's
a thing.
It's a combination. If you want to change it now, you totally can. It's a combination of your pilot's ability to choose stealthy, like make stealthy moves and training, as well as your mech's build capacity to augment your pilot's ability.
Okay, then I'm just gonna roll for this. Even though it says athletics, I'm gonna switch it to say.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
All right, so we've got a grand total of 3, so 2 plus your 1 mech. And so what you do is that succeeds. You're going to create an advantage, something like out of sight, and so you'll have a new advantage called out of sight. And what that means is you can tag that for free once to get a +2 to defend against an enemy notice roll, in case they're trying to find you. Okay. So who's up?
I think that's going to be Patriot.
That would be true if we didn't have a enemy turn in between there.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much, Vivacia, who's gifting an advantage to Noir Enigma using their channel points. Channel points are now enabled, everyone.
Hey!
By the way, channel points! Alright,
Wait,
so
we can use channel points now to get cool stuff for the games? Whoa.
Advantage. I don't know what that means, but I got it.
So we're gonna run it the same way as it runs in D&D. It's really simple. You can roll, and you can roll twice, and you can pick the higher of the two. We're just gonna make it real plain simple for everybody.
How would you work in a deck of many for this game?
That's a great question.
Just randomly question. I don't have my hand hovering over the deck of many right now.
What I'm going to say is it's going to cause me to do a hot minute of like 2-minute mumbling as I figure out Landon what the hell I'm going to do. But I'm down for it.
Okay.
So what is going to happen is so Patriot, you see, so Banshee sort of like slips off to the side, vanishes around one of the the constructed buildings, and then sort of moves sort of down off to a side. You sort of lose track of them as you go, but you see very clearly a mech sort of step into what looks like a long like a long kind of almost highway simulation at the very end. You can sort of see where the highway turns off down, and it sort of like reaches up, and it has, like your mech, like a stylized hat on the helm of it. It's not a cowboy hat like yours, it's more like a fedora, but it's sort of,
the neck V. No,
yeah, and it steps up to you. It steps up, sort of points at you, and sort of like, and puts a hand out like this, like it's gonna go for a draw.
We're doing this?
Oh yeah, no. One of them clearly saw your specs and was like, "Hey, that sounds great. Let's do that." So it's going to draw and shoot.
More gifts from chat. Nat 20 to me, thank you, Ken. Advantage to Ken. And Diana is balancing the universe and giving disadvantages to you, John, to use against us. And also, there's two advantages for Raid just come in while I was talking.
Hey!
And we have also confirmed that Diana is the cutest Thanos. But let's keep going.
My God. Okay. So, they're gonna roll to shoot you.
Okay.
I actually have to do this because I don't have NPC shit set up, because who does that?
Oh, hey. I do it on the fly all the time. I feel you right now.
Now I wish I had a hacking
plus...
wave. Oh my god, that would have been so cool to like... Sorry. I'm...
Oh, you're good. You're fine. That's just like... that, like, I... Continue. Anyway, so, you get... So, it's gonna be a +3 to hit you. Patriot, what you're going to do is you're going to roll either drive or... Okay. So here's what you can do. You can roll drive.
Right.
To get out of the way. Or you can use if you want to, I will give you the opportunity to use another skill, which is the only thing you'd have to take a stunt for. But considering this person walked into your, like, absolute best territory and was like, I'm going to challenge you on the ground that you fight in. I'm going to give you the chance to, if you want to, make a shoot attack to try and shoot the bullet out of the air. That's going to be harder. Your choice.
All right. Well, I should inform you that the stunt that I took from my mech was called shot.
I'm aware.
Okay. So
I know what I said.
Yeah, I'm going to. I don't fucking know what I'm doing, but Patriot does. So he would like to, first off, he would like to click a button on his mech that plays the Firmament national anthem.
Nice. Okay.
On loudspeakers. And then draw. So he is going to try and shoot the bullet out of the sky.
Okay, so roll me a shoot. It'll be a higher difficulty than just the +3, but we'll see what you get.
Okay. I got a 3.
You got a 3. Okay. What that means is, so basically, the way damage works in Fate is you put the two rolls head to head, and whichever one is higher does that amount extra as what we call stress. And y'all have stress boxes, so that'll count as that. And basically, you will have so you specifically, because you have both physique and will very like relatively high for skills, you have a lot of stress. Each stress box corresponds to the number. So what the first, like, stress box number 1 can soak 1 stress. Stress box number 2 can stroke 2, and then 3 can stroke 3, and 4 can soak 4, and so on. So right now you've hit the 3, and I think is shoot a mech skill for you?
I don't know. I just took shoot because I want to shoot.
Oh no! Yeah. It's So shoot is a mech skill for you. So that's actually a 4. So you beat the target by 1.
Okay.
So what Landon and Rusty see is this mech sort of step out from behind a building, point at Patriot, and Patriot, like, I don't know if you like say anything on comms, like, but I'm assuming something like hell yeah, and then like the Firmament theme starts blasting out of external speakers on Patriot's frame. He just
yells in his intercom, it's high noon, and then he does what he's about to do.
Yeah, so he's just like, Matthew Mercer's it's high noon, and like then the Firmament theme starts blasting from speakers in his mech, and you hear the bang of like 30mm shell gun go off from across the freaking thing as a bullet to her, and then you see Paige sort of whip up and bang, like pull the revolver out, shoot, and the bullets spiral off and crash into 2 buildings on each side. And you I'm assuming you do like a freaking twirl.
Oh,
and then, like,
yeah, I'm going full RoboCop right now.
All right, cool. Yeah, so Paige just like sitting there spinning this giant like mech-sized revolver as the two bullets like bounce in the building starts to like fall apart and crumble. All right, but now, Patriot, it's your actual turn now.
Okay, Okay, so I have a quick question about fate points.
Yeah.
How do we get those back?
So fate points, the way it works is I will tag a fate point for you.
Mhm.
So the way where fate points are used to compel aspects. So what aspects are things like your high concept or your trouble, or for in Ed's case when they made an advantage, the sneaky aspect they gave him, the out of sight aspect.
Okay.
Tagging an advantage will give you two things. It can either give you a +2 to your roll, or you can spend a fate point to get a +2 by tagging the aspect. Or you can spend the fate point to re-roll your entire roll if it's really bad, like a -4, -3, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just asked because it says for Kong Shot, I can spend a fate point to declare a specific condition.
Yes. So the way it'll work is I will. Fate points are in flux constantly. If you spend fate points to tag aspects, I'm going to spend fate points to tag NPC aspects and environment aspects and your troubles and things that I can put and things that we will put on your mechs. So it will be in flux constantly. If this were a longer campaign, there's another section up there called Refresh, which I believe all of you have at 3, which means at the start of every session you get 3 fate points back.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to tag it to make bad things happen to you. You're going to tag it to make bad things happen to the NPCs and or me, and that's how we're playing it. So it'll be in flux constantly. So feel free to spend. I will give it to you back.
All right, so we're gonna do a Call Shot.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and shoot directly into this guy's barrel and blow his gut up.
Okay, awesome. So roll to shoot. He's gonna roll to get the mech out of the way, and I have to roll that live because no. You were just like the absolute consistent. We'll roll only one number forever, huh?
It's kind of my jam, man. I'm just glad when it's not a 1.
Okay, so you've got a plus.
I don't know. I don't know why I did it twice.
That's okay. That's fine. So you have the plus. So you have the 3 with extra 1 from your mech. So that's a 4. They match out of 4, so you don't quite succeed.
Yeah.
But what I will let you do is, since you've succeeded, you put an aspect on in addition to hitting them for stress. I'll let you take a boost, which is an aspect that'll last only once until you tag it the next time. So you sort of see pictures sort of spin shoot the shell out of the sky, spin the gun and fire again, and you're aiming sort of for the barrel of their gun, and they manage to get it just out of the way fast enough that it doesn't shoot down the barrel, but it does sort of strike the mecha's arm and sort of push it away, so they're a little bit off balance and they're not able to aim as much. So you can get a +2 when it's used the next time. For something, but that will go away as they readjust their positioning.
Awesome.
Cool. Rusty, you're up.
Right. How far away are these things? Because I need to get a little bit close.
They're pretty far. You can use a lot of the buildings for cover. So the way Fate does zones, so rather than like distances, we have zones. So you all are in what we're going to call like zone 1. Banshee, you've moved about into zone 2. That's about where you're at. And then zone 4 is where the mechs are at. So you'd have to cross 3 zones. That would take you like 3 turns to do. But you can move to a zone and then do something else, even if you can't hit them.
Yeah. All right. So I know that Banshee likes to do the stealth stuff, so I'm not gonna draw attention to them by following them. That's a bad plan. But has anyone been damaged or anything like that yet?
Yes, so nothing's taken actual damage yet, but the one that Patriot just struck is kind of off balance as its arm has got sort of flung back by the oversized revolver shell.
Oh yeah, no, I can't be going close to them just yet. But so none of us have been hurt, so I'm just gonna if I can move to zone 2 but get into cover, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, so you can just roll to create an advantage to either with drive or with craft if you're going to try to create impromptu cover out of the stuff that is available to you. Your choice.
No, I'll save that. I'm going to do some driving skills first here. Let's just show Landon that this here medical mech flies just as good as any other. Come on, Veronica, don't let me down. There we go. Yeah.
Nice. All right, so we've got is drive one of your mech skills? I don't remember.
Yeah, good.
Is? Excellent. So that's that's a total +4. It's cool. So you have we're gonna call you we're gonna give you an aspect that's called solidly in cover, and that means you got a +2 to defend against shoot attacks and anything that's sort of trying that's gonna have to try and hit you at that kind of range. But yeah, you've got it. That's easy. That's solid. That's just there. All right, Gawain. Everyone has sort of moved up and done a thing. What's yours?
All right, so what Landon wants to do is he wants to see if he can tap into the Wi-Fi frequency or the frequency that is controlling the other mechs and provoke them to turn off.
Okay.
And provoke as in a way of provoking the it's like a provoke hack. Like it's a hack.
Okay. So that is technically so what it is normally in order to do that you'd have to use lore to know what their frequencies is, how to hack it.
Which is even better.
So you're not going to get the same bonuses as a provoke would, but you get you'll be able to sort of get into that system and manipulate and create an advantage for it if you want.
Hell yeah, that's what he would like to. I don't know if it can be like an AoE type thing, but he's gonna roll and we'll see what happens with that.
So if you want to roll, I will tell you how AoEs work once we see what your successes are.
Perfect. Don't bring me down. Okay, that seems good. That seems good.
Wow. 7. Okay. So the way AoE attacks work in Fate is unless you have a specific thing for it, the way it works is you have every success you have over something is called a shift. So your target difficulty for this, for example, is a 2, which means you have 5 shifts over the target difficulty for it. This means 2 things. One, you can split the effects of it across multiple targets, and if you have 5, you can do 2 to 1, 3 to another, or 1 to 1, 4 to the other, or 1 2 2, etc. However you want to split it.
How many targets do we have at the moment?
So right now you've hacked in. You know that there are 4.
Okay.
You've hacked into their system. You're going to be able to put an advantage, create an aspect, and you've got 3 in that whatever closed system you've managed to hack into. You've got 3 in it. So there's a 4th one somewhere that you're not quite sure what it's running on, but there's definitely 3 on the network that you've broken into.
Okay. At first, I just want to go on to come and be like, all right, guys, there's 3 at least that I got with my hacking ray. I feel like there's another one and there could be more, but I'm going to fuck with their systems. You guys do the rest. Got it? Over, out. And then so there's 3 that I can put an aspect on, right? Okay. So, can I do 2 2 1?
Yeah, you can do 2 2 1.
Okay.
And what I'll do is because since you also succeeded with style, it means you get an extra little boost on top of what you were doing. So you have the way it works is you've created an advantage let's call it disrupted systems, right? So their systems aren't working so well. Normally, what that is you'd put 1 aspect on each of them that has a free invoke, and what that means is you don't have to spend a fate point to tag that invoke to give you a +2 to do something against them.
Okay.
Because you succeeded with style, you get 2 free invokes, so everyone can use those aspects twice without having to pay for them.
I assume that's good, right?
That's really good. Yeah. So the way it works is in order to because everything is an aspect in this game. So in order to tag the aspect, you normally spend a fate point. A success on creating an advantage gives you an aspect you don't have to spend a fate point once for. Succeeding with style gives it twice. So now you have essentially +4 that you can spend at any given moment for free.
So do I just put that in my fate point +4 or what?
Yeah, I'm keeping track of it, so I have the aspects kicking around, so I'll let you know when you're going to be able to hit something that you can use.
So is there a way that I can tell you what I want to have done to the hacking job, or is it just they're hacked?
Yeah, totally. Okay. Go for it. What do you want to do?
For the one with the 1, I want his nav system to be fucked up and giving wrong directions of where we are.
Okay.
So it's maybe a disruption of navigation. And then the other 2, I want them to literally stop and fall if they can, or their mechanics, everything's working on a system, and their system just bugs out for X amount of time. That gives us time to really get the jump on them.
Okay, cool. So what you see is, so you sort of fiddle with the feed that way. and one mech. You can't see two of the mechs because you're not quite sure how it affects them per se.
Okay.
But the one that was, engaged in this sort of high noon mech duel with Patriot, sort of you see like the light in the eyes go out and it sort of slumps over and makes that sort of like power down noise as you sort of disrupt the systems and force it to either like stay disrupted or force a hard reboot.
Perfect.
Awesome. Actually, we're gonna see how this works. So.
This is so cool.
I know, right? Like, I feel so fucking badass.
Okay. So, Banshee, as you're coming around, as you've come around the side here, you see what looks like another mech. It's slightly smaller than the ones you're used to seeing, almost. And what it is, it's almost kind of like, it's sort of like it has like what looks like its hands dug into the side of one of these constructed like concrete, fabricated buildings, and it's sort of hanging off of it and sort of looking around and scouting. And it's going to try to roll to notice you, so you're gonna have to roll stealth to try and beat it. But you have that extra invoke for free off of out of sight, which means you can add a +2 to it for free if your roll doesn't end up so well. But it's rolled at a 2 currently. Hello. Did you hear that, or did I miss?
Is it, hey, you're not talking to me, are you?
No, I was talking to Banshee.
Yeah, you kind of you filtered through me. Sorry.
That's cool. So there's sort of a mech that's sort of hanging onto one of the fabricated buildings near you, sort of scouting around. And it's trying to notice you. So you're gonna have to roll stealth to beat it, but you do have the free invoke off out of sight if you need it.
Okay, I would like to take it.
Okay. Well, your target number is a 2. So if you beat it without needing it, you can choose to do it afterwards.
Okay. Well, then I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
So you succeed with style. Actually over the target because you're 3 over, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So that means you get you get a little bonus extra. So you are like, we're gonna change that aspect from out of sight to like well hidden. So you get 2 invokes of that for free now rather than 1.
Okay.
Huge thank you.
So the 2 invokes is +2 is 2 +2s now?
It's 2 +2s. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Huge thank you to Sphinx coming in with that donation. Everyone except for me gets a nat 20, so we now all have nat 20s. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the donations at the minute. We are behind.
So nat 20s, because we don't have 20s in this one, if you use it, it'll just be a straight +4 on your die roll, so you'd add the maximum amount plus your skill. Let's just say that.
That works, yeah.
So actually, so Ray, it's your turn. It's Banshee's turn.
So it'd be a crit success, or just be a success roll?
Sorry?
It would,
It'd be like
if you use the
+4
nat
to your
20.
roll.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
depends on what you use it for. If you're gonna do a skill, we'll give you some extra and succeed with style. If it's in like a fight roll, we'll give it like just a maximum number.
So I would like to, if possible, take out, like in the process of being hidden and being noticed, she kind of like dips back for a second, and in that dip back, she invokes. It's basically a needler, and wants to come around the corner and like shoot it towards the closest mech that was trying to notice her in the beginning.
Yeah, so there is only the one that's sort of clearly scouting out like the side, the flank for it. So you can absolutely take a shot at it. So just roll your shoot, and if shoot is one of your mech skills, add a +1 to it.
And so that'll be a 3.
Awesome. So we're gonna roll for defending here. Okay, you know what? We're gonna copy this macro because I'm really annoyed at typing it all the time. Okay, so it's got a 5 right now to dodge.
If you just press up in roll 20, it'll do the last thing you typed.
That's fair. Well, I've got to change the modifiers for it every now and then, so I just need the base size. But so it did really well. It got a 5 to dodge, but you do have the +2s from your out of sight, which you can use to represent like sort of the advantage of stealth you have on it. Or you can keep it to try and duck back and vanish after you've done that. Your choice.
Since I have 2 of them, could I use 1 to at least make it even, and then another one to duck back? Or how would that work? How does that work?
So yeah, you can definitely, if you roll to make it even, you won't get a success on it because you'll have tied. But if if you push it up, you'll get the success plus, and then deal 2 extra damage.
Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll do that.
Cool. So you sort of see it. It's sort of like it's sort of looking off in like it's sort of like it when it sort of swept to notice you. It looked past you, swept up, and then its head sort of moved towards the direction where you know that like Patriot and Rusty and Gawain
like
are.
I want to use them as a distraction. Like, I want to have them be the distraction, and then I'm coming up around.
Perfect. Yeah. So it sort of switches off to one side, and you can sort of like you sort of see it. It's moving a little jerky in the way that like it's clear that something's wrong with its systems, and you're not really like that Landon had just said he had disrupted it, so maybe it's a sensor array going there. But whatever the reason is, you managed to get up right behind it and sort of like and take a shot from its blind side, and you sort of see your like energy needles. Or, it's basically just like a purple energy blast.
I haven't played Halo in ages. So you like sort of like plasma needles sort of like fire out of the darts on your arm, and it sort of and you sort of like dot the mech's frame as it sort of like drifts down with the way you're firing. And it's sort of you can see like the metal start to burn and bubble almost like as it like superheated starts to superheat, and it turns around and whips around and tries to find you, but you're already gone. You vanished. You sort of take up a new position. So, Patriot, you see the mech that you were engaged in a duel with.
Got hit by Landon's.
It did, yeah. And so you see it. It's still powered down, and you sort of see. That's bad. You sort of see the like the lights in its eyes start to flicker, almost as if it's going through like a hard reboot of some kind. Mm-hmm. But it takes a while to do it, and it's still going. Like it's not actually, so it's actually completely out in the open, ready for you to do whatever.
I'm going to walk up to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the hand that has its gun, and I'm going to point the gun under the mech head.
Okay.
And then the intercom, you're just going to hear, "Hey, punk. Stop hitting yourself." Bang.
All right, so roll to shoot somebody else's gun, I suppose.
I don't know, why not?
Why not?
Shoot. Come on, roll 20. Don't fuck me now. Of course it's a 3. What else would it be? Other than a 3.
Oh my lord. Okay, so you're not gonna get the +1 because it's not actually your mech doing anything. It's you just like pushing the mech's arm back and being like, haha, boop. But you do like maximum stress because it's still the mech is completely shut down, and it has no defenses. And you sort of blow the head off of it, like you see like gears and like wiring and all kinds of components sort of scatter into the air. And because of the way the mech's held is bit, like the brim of the hat is still there, so you sort of see like this hole just kind of appear from through the head up through like the top of where the hat is, and sort of explodes out through the side.
Would now be too late to add my 20 because I'm that petty. I am in fact that petty.
All right,
he does not get to keep his hat.
Okay, just all right, yeah, okay. So. Yes, you can spend the 20 to destroy the hat as a sign of dominance. That's fine.
Only one person gets to have a mech with a hat.
That can be only one.
Got my quickening going.
And it ain't big enough for 2 freaking cowboy robots. So yeah, the brim sort of like you sort of see it, and so instead of like it goes through, it still destroys like the top half of the head and goes out through the back. And you see the brim start to sag under the weight of the thing that is no longer meant to support it, sort of fall, and it sort of tears down, sort of like shatters and falls in like 2 halves down on the ground as the mech sort of like slumps over.
Goddamn right.
And as you do that, the back of it sort of pops open in like a hit with like a hiss of smoke, and the pilot of it steps out and goes, "Fucking really? Really?"
Quit being a copycat, John!
And John's just like, "Dude, it's a cool aesthetic. What the hell? You're wearing it. You know how cool."
Yeah, I had it first.
Yeah, it's like, "God, fine." And then like just like the cockpit closes again, starts and like as he like starts to climb down the mech and leave the battlefield, like a car pulls up and he sort of gets in and sort of drives off the side and gets out. All right, Rusty.
Patriot has now absolutely destroyed the one mech that he was fighting.
Yes. Right! I think it's about time to get in and get mixed up in this. I'm only like, what, 2 zones away or something, so there's got to be someone reasonably close, right?
Yeah, so you haven't noticed any mechs coming through, but if you pop into the next zone, you have 2 choices. You can either run into the next zone and, like, do something with whatever happens to be there, or you can try to notice something in the next zone and move to a place where you can get an advantage. But you can't do both at once.
Right, okay, so I really want to get into, like, this whole guns thing. I mean, I can do it, you know. I can,
right.
But I much prefer to get in close. I'd like to get in closer. I'd like to go closer, yeah.
Yep.
Can I maybe try and do a thing here?
Uh-huh.
Hang on. Where are the things? Like, I know this machine isn't supposed to go that fast and maybe move 2 zones into melee range, but I'm a test pilot. If I just take the rev limiter off, I'm sure I can push it past its capabilities for just a little while.
Uh-huh. Sounds good. All right, so we're gonna run that test pilot thing. We're gonna overclock your mech a little bit. So roll to drive, and that'll get you. We'll see how well you do getting into the crossing 2 zones at once.
I'd like to use my advantage on this.
Yeah, go for it.
Pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Hey, all right, yeah, that's pretty excellent, actually. So you're gonna take. We're gonna take the 6. It means you succeed with style. You've beaten the test I set, the number I set for it. So you get to blow through the like 2 zones. You just burn through it like thrusters rev and jets fire, and you just burn through 2 zones at once. And you show up like hammer in hand, ready to hit something really hard. And you've blown so far past that you sort of do the enemy sort of like stop, land, turn, where you're out in the middle of the open. And from behind you hear 2 mechs turn, like, excuse me? And that's where we're going to take a break.
Fantastic. Love it. Okay, everyone, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Get up, stretch, grab a drink, grab a bio. We'll be back in 5 minutes. See you very soon. Bye. Welcome, Raiders. We are on a short break. We'll be back very soon, in fact. Thank you so much for the raid. Please check out our content warning and consider retweeting the stream. We appreciate you! Welcome back, everyone! This has been so much fun so far. For those of you who raided in the break, we are mech pilots, like, at the academy, still training, like, not quite new recruits, like, nearly ready for action. We're on a training drill. It's fucking fantastic. I'll hand back over to John. RY0MASA!
Alright. Well, you know, just, like, we're not quite a tournament arc, what we're getting there. So, we left off with Scrat sort of like overclocking Veronica, Rusty tinkering with the overheat restrictions just a little bit too much for general standard piloting, but enough to boost his thrusters and burn him back towards 2 more zones with extra movement, and landing right smack in the middle of 2 of the enemy mechs. So what do you want to do?
I'm gonna enable the arm. I'm gonna switch from like driving mode to fighting mode. So you see one hand come up, and it's just got a great big like blacksmith style hammer on the end of this appendage, and the other hand's gonna come up, and it's not a sword or a dagger, but it's a wee little arc welder, just a little welding thing, and I'm like. Can I attack this round, or do I need to wait till the next round?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, the fact that you succeeded so well means that you get to burn and then move and then do something.
Oh hell yeah!
Because you had no fucking clue what you were running into. I gave you the option to figure out what you were running into, or just yeet into it headlong, and you chose to yeet. So here we are.
Let's yeet. I'd like to pivot on my heel. I'm gonna spinning back fist one of these things with a hammer appendage. It's gonna be great.
Cool. So I think because Rusty's like a bit disjointed almost as a mech because you've done so many modifications to it. I feel like the first half, the top half rotates a little bit extra, and the legs kind of follow a little step behind.
Hell yeah!
Like it's all momentum, right? Awesome. So roll some fight, and let's hit shit with a hammer.
Did that roll? That rolled
You
drive again.
No,
I
it rolled
think.
your drive. It didn't roll your fight.
I'm gonna click it again, but I've got a feeling roll 20 is gonna do that thing
Roll
where it's
20,
like,
yeah, roll
oh,
20
you've rolled
might-
27 times.
Roll 20 might be lagging a little.
Everything okay here, roll 20? Oh, there we go.
Okay, we'll take the 2 and move on. So that I believe fight is on your. You have fight on your mech? No,
Yeah,
you
fight's
drive.
good. Fight's good.
Awesome. Excellent. So you do get fight on your mech. So what that means is we're going to do this. So you've got a +3. You've got a +3 to swing this hammer, and you do have a little bit of a bonus, an element of surprise. So I'm going to say you get a general boost. So you're going to be able to you have a +2 to that one really quick, and then we'll see what happens when we do a smart thing. And because I was sharing character images, got rid of the macro icon. Okay. Wow, absolute garbage. So you have a +4. You beat it by 3. Sorry, so you succeed with style as well. So you can add a +2 to your damage and spend it immediately, or you can create an advantage on the mech that you've hit with your hammer to represent what we I believe called sledgehammer surgery.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna create an advantage with my sledgehammer surgery. This may look like a clumsy swinging attack, but that hammer is gonna land directly on the view screen of this mech. Like their sensors, their visuals are fucked.
So Rusty sort of like you've got that sort of like wide shot sort of with the power lines and the wind rushes. Rusty spins around and clocks this mech in the hammer, and it like you see like the eye start to static and flicker as the viewports of this mech sort of start to phase out as Rusty's hit it right in the right place to cause it to blank out and blind the pilot. And so you've created that's a lot actually. You've created a what is that? +2, +2, +2, +6, 7, 5. You've created a +5 just from that move, and so you have a success. It is hella blinded. You've also knocked out some of the auditory feeds, and so you have specifically 2 free +2s to tag against that mech in particular. Because you've so crippled its systems, in addition to the nonsense that Landon had done earlier. Speaking of Landon, though, Gawain's turn is up. You've seen Rusty sort of zoom headlong into the middle of nowhere, vanish around a corner, and then you hear like an almighty as something hits something. Patriot has walked up to this other mech and like promptly coup de grace it with its own gun.
Really quickly, Landon's gonna be like, "Oh, Rusty, I see that the overclocking abilities are working to parameters. Good job, great job, buddy." And then he is
You could let me have a go at your mech if you want me to.
No.
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 Oh, hey, I totally missed before the raid. Jaeger Larson donated. Well, it looks like I don't know. It looks like maybe $15. It looks like it's converted from a different currency. Thank you so much, Jaeger. You can gift a nat 20 to a player of your choice with that amount. Sorry, carry on.
No, that's great.
Cool.
Okay, so can I get a field of view of what I can see right now?
Yeah, so right now off to your left side you hear a bunch of sort of the plasma shots of Banshee's Needler ? Kind of off to one side you can hear the shots being fired and sort of the sounds of it impacting something. Directly in front of you is, and off a bit to your right is Patriot with sort of the husk of this mech that he destroyed.
Well, they shouldn't have worn a hat.
Right, and the pilot has left at this point.
Everybody should know by now.
Feeling personally attacked at the whole "there can only be one cowboy" nonsense. And then Rusty has sort of zipped on down that little highway section that you saw and that Patriot is on, hung a bit of a left towards the center of the field, and then there's just some almighty crashing noises coming from like around a building facade.
All right. So there's 2 mechs that we can see, and there's one that we probably don't know about yet.
Yeah, well, so there's one mech that you can see. there's two that you know exist and are presumably near Rusty because he sounds like he's in combat.
Right.
And there's at least one off with Banshee engaging in combat as well, but you're not sure if it's 2 with Banshee and 2 with Rusty, or sorry, you're not sure if it's 2 with Banshee or 2 with Rusty. It could be it could be either or there could be one just somewhere else and you're not sure.
I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna go and fly into the next quadrant, closer to Banshee's area, because the needles. I heard the needles. I'm like, oh, we should check that point out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna drive over there first, and then I'll take assessment.
Cool. So yeah, so you don't have to roll drive because you're only moving a zone, but once you get there, you can roll. Yeah,
great.
You're only moving one zone. That's like everyone can move a zone. That's fine.
Okay,
Rusty only did it because he's shot like 2 zones ahead.
Right. Okay.
So what you're gonna do though is you're gonna roll notice for me, and that'll tell you what you see when you arrive in the quadrant.
Okay. Roll 4D. Okay, I got a 2.
Awesome. So you do notice. So what you see sort of off to one side, you see a purple shadow vanish around a corner as Banshee ducks behind cover, clearly. But what you also see is sort of like looks like some sort of scout or sort of stealthier mech, like on the side of a building with what looks like the remnants of Banshee's Needler sort of stuck in one of its arms and down the side of one of its frames from where she clearly shot at it earlier. And it's actively hunting for her, but doesn't see you just yet because it's focusing on trying to figure out where the shots that hit it came from.
All right, I don't want to shoot my super phaser wave motion gun. I would like to use like my other gun, like it's just a rudimentary like laser pointer kind of gun, and I just want to like So I'm just gonna be like, come up, see it, and maybe take it by surprise, and like just be like,
yeah, cool. Roll me to shoot.
Okay. Shoot, boom. 4.
Hey, that's pretty good. And it'll roll some defense to get out of the way, though it's not gonna be very great because it doesn't actually see you coming. Garbage! Alright, cool. So you beat it by a lot.
Hell yeah.
So you get to, in addition to stuff that you're doing, you get a success with style. You're gonna get an extra boost on it. And what you do is you take a shot at it, and your laser sort of strikes it in the arm, the one that's holding it up to the building, and it doesn't break the arm, but it sort of impacts where it's actually clutching onto the concrete, and so it falls off of its perch and has to recover and does enough, and you do enough damage to it that it lands and it's sort of shaken for a minute. And once it falls and sort of hits the ground, you sort of see the mech head sort of like lilt off to one side, and the eyes go dark.
Perfect.
Took it out. Nice.
Yeah, that's right. Landon to the rescue. Or not. Landon does cool things.
And so, so the mech sort of landed on its front side. The back sort of pops up with a huff of smoke, and the cockpit opens up, and there's a pilot there, just kind of looks up. And Landon, were you saying all those things into the comms, like in a way that people could hear you?
Of course. Also, Devin, you suck.
Yeah, and so Devin is kind of like, and then and like a pod sort of zooms in, sort of he gets in, and it sort of flits off the side of the battlefield to get him away. Like, what the hell, man? Like, and then just like leaves. So that just happens. Banshee, top of the order. You see the mech. You hear Landon sort of zoom in from the side, take out the mech that was engaging you, and the mech falls and crashes down. Landon's just like, boom, yeah. Also, suck it, Devin. You suck. And then just like on the speakers, like a little bit away.
You totally hear like a pep talk after too. It's like, okay, we're doing this, we're great, and maybe I can get into the R&D now. Maybe I don't have to be in this shithole anymore.
Oh God, oh, he's at it again. Okay, and she's gonna do like a scan to see who else is still on the battlefield.
Yep. So as of right now, from where you're positioned, you can hear the sounds of combat coming from side. If you take a bit of a higher position, which I'll let you do, you can see that off to one side, you see Rusty is engaging with 2 mechs, one of which seems pretty staggered, and the other one of which is like in the middle of a hard reboot, but is wrapping up right about the time that they're gonna get
the one that is in the hard reboot. Would I be able to get to them in this turn with my movement?
Yeah, you would, because you moved a couple spaces in now.
Okay, so I would like to come out from where I was hiding and move towards that mech that's rebooting. And as it's rebooting, my other arm, so my right arm has the needler, my left arm transforms into an energy sword. So like this plasma white, like energy sword. And she's gonna come back and try to stab upwards from its like from its lower back, like into it.
Like right up and like liver through the ribs, right up.
Yeah,
okay, awesome.
Straight up, just like come in.
So you see, like, so actually, to Rusty, you see this Banshee sort of comes ghosting around the side, little flares from like the thrusters, causing like a little bit of like blue-white sort of halo and illumination trail as it sort of zips around the side. It does like the anime light thing, where like the point of light moves and leaves a little after image and streaks back. And Banshee comes around the side. You see the left arm sort of like the hand sort of rotates, splits, opens up, and an energy source sort of burns out of it, and then sort of comes up and rams it into the side of this mech. And right, the mech sort of starts to restart, sees this coming, and you hear a fuck, and then like its legs come out from under it. It sort of drops, and so you cleave like the top half of it off as it sort of falls and it hits the ground, and the cockpit sort of bursts open. Hawkins goes, "Are you like actually aiming to kill? What the fuck?"
And over the comm, all they hear is just always.
Fucking crazy, and like just like and he's like and like gets back in the thing because clearly there's a fight still happening like too far away, and he can't evac from the space where he's at currently. But it's just like fucking crazy, what the shit, and like closes up behind it. And so right now you've got Patriot, who is a little bit further away from this battlefield in particular because you were too busy coup de grace the cowboy and establishing dominance. But you hear like there's sounds of fighting coming from sort of further up and to your left around the building.
Okay. And it's not in gun range at all, right?
No, it's like behind cover. You'd have to move up twice to get there, or you could burn your drive to get there now and do it in the next turn.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. He's gonna be doing some parkour in a mech to get there as soon as possible.
Roll me drive to parkour.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, what number you think I rolled?
Oh my god. Alright, Someone make statistics of this, please. I need to know.
I keep telling people me and Roll20 have the weirdest relationship.
I need to know what weird eldritch god decided Nor Enigma only rolls 1s and 3s. I don't know, but I'd like that, please. So everyone, I'm gonna please let me know if I get any description wrong, but I get the feeling I won't. Okay. So like Banshee comes in for the kills this mech, cuts it off. You have the entire dialogue. Rusty, you're still fighting. Landon is in the middle of this prep talk. And then from a little bit further down the battlefield over all the speakers, you hear the distantly increasing strains of the firmament fucking anthem. That's the word I'm looking for, anthem. And then just, woo! And like as he's parkouring over Bill, and you hear like, woo! Thunk! Woo! Thunk! As Patriot is like leaping buildings and doing complete nonsense parkour for no reason whatsoever. Like he doesn't have to do this; he could just clear the building.
There might be a couple shots in the air just during the flip for no reason.
Boom, yeah. He's not even shooting anything. He has the gun out to the side artfully while he's jumping over buildings.
Like I'm going full Joe Exotic right now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's like, oh my god, why?
Hey everyone, we have a hype train started in chat. Thank you very much, Blue Box Pirate, V's and Panita for getting that started there. We are rewarding the hype trains at level 1. Everyone gets 2 advantages. We're nearly there. 69% of level 1. Nice. Level 2, no advantages. John gets 8 disadvantages to use against us. Level 3,
gimme.
Level 3, we all get 2 natural 20s instead. Level 4, everyone draws from the deck of many. Level 5, all of those things happen simultaneously. Back into it, sorry.
Do it.
Also,
all right.
Really quickly,
Yes.
I just want to know, what would be the America, name for firmament? Because, I could also picture,
Merman
going, America!
Merman!
Merman! Or just mint.
So I think Firma is just like, it's just Irmament with the F taken off. It's like, Irmament! Woo!
Irmament!
That's what I think it is.
I love this. So
God.
much. Why? Why is this happening?
If anyone can't tell, I normally play the Cowboys in my games. So, so your Patriots sort of like parkouring across buildings for no explicable reason whatsoever. So Rusty, Veronica's up. The mech that you are fighting is still sort of blinded. Banshee came around the corner and took out the other one quick and clean, and you've got one more mech left.
Is it the one that I had the advantage on?
Yeah, it's the one that. Yep, it's the one that you have the advantages on.
Okay. So, Rusty...
They're going away at the end of the scene. It'll be great.
Rusty realizes that this is a simulation and these are our friends. And I've damaged their mech. So, I'm going to do hammer surgery on them. I want to damage them, but this is how I'm going to dress it up and flavor it.
Okay.
I want to remove the parts of their mech that I damaged last round as the damage and then repair them.
Alright, so the way this is going to work is roll me, craft, we'll see how much you take out and how much you're good at this, and because it'll depend on how I narrate what happens next.
You know what? The hype train's burning up. We've got 14% of level 3. If we hit level 3, we're going to have 2 nat 20s. I'm going to burn one. I'm going to burn one of them automatic successes.
Do it! Freaking do it!
So that's what, 4 plus 4?
Yes. Yeah, so you've got 8.
Yeah.
Alright, so what happens is, this is what happens. Landon, you've been, like, pumping yourself up. You're like, alright, we're gonna do this thing. So and then you, like, follow after Banshee, like, alright, we're gonna get this done. Banshee, you've sort of, like, taken everything, you sort of, like, flicked the end, like, the ends of, like, the debris that's got on the parts of your arm that aren't plasma sword, like, off to one side, and sort of, the blade sort of sheaths up and sort of collapses back into your arm with, like, ka-chunk. Patriot is like, woo! And, like, jumps over the last building and lands, like, gun firing in the air to show, to establish dominance. And you all see, as you all arrive at this conclusion to see the last fight, Rusty is very carefully tending to the mech that he has fucked up. Is like fixing like carving out the pieces that are dented, welding them back in to fit better, and he just sort of pats them on the head and is like, better. And the pilot's just like, yeah, okay, I surrender, I'm done. Like the mech's arms go up. It's sort of like, and it's just so like and the cockpit sort of comes out the front. And he's like, all right, well, so I think that's all of it, right? Yeah. And then the person whose mech you've cleaved in half Banshee comes out of the cockpit and is just like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to fix this later.
And I'll like hand them back. They're like fixed, like, opticals.
Yeah.
I already started for you, mate. Look, I've upgraded that a wee bit. It doesn't look as good, but you'll find it operates a lot more effectively.
This is why we need fiber optics and the beta zetas and the metric minus and pluses and
Not right now, Landon!
You just see the energy sword go back, and there's like
Yep.
this like small trail of smoke, and she just like blows it out and gets out of
Nice.
her mech, and like the back kind of pops open.
So, real quickly, who has the highest? Actually, no. So I think Banshee has the highest notice. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no. Who has the highest notice? Which one?
I have my
Go
notice
+1.
+1.
is +1 as well.
+1.
Yeah.
I have no notice.
Okay, so we've got 1100, I think, right?
No notice
Okay.
whatsoever. No notice whatsoever.
All
We
right,
just hit level
awesome.
3. The hype train is going strong. Level 3 is 2 nat
Yes,
20s
let's
for
go,
everyone.
let's
Next level,
Um,
we shuffle the deck of many.
Oh boy.
No, I'm excited.
No.
So,
no, deck of many. Please, no.
well, let's,
No.
yeah, deck of
I
many, let's
lose
do it.
all my shit when I pull a deck of many. Don't you do this to me again. It's been 3 times that happened to me already on this
Boy,
channel
yeah.
alone.
All right, hold on. Yeah. Oh.
I legit was about to jump off a building and do like a flying elbow drop.
All right.
On my next
He's like, oh, okay, never mind, we're done. You're just like, oh, okay, never mind. All right. So, Patriot and Banshee, you both hear crackling. So, back to Banshee, you actually come out of the cockpit. You're sort of standing out, sort of in like the drop down a door that sort of stands out in the front. You are muted.
Thanks. I imagine when she does it, it's kind of like so when she's like normally in the mech station, there's like a platform that comes out to reach it. Like, so she just opens it and kind of stands out there like amongst the depravity that we have caused and is just like super proud.
Yep. So you hear the crackling of comms from inside your mech. You can't quite hear what it's saying from where you're standing if you want to go back, but Patriot, you hear it very clearly. Murdoch comes over the comms and goes, it's sort of in like that kind of staticky, like it's like 23rd, come in.
23rd here, and he's just gonna call out to the comms for the rest of the group. Hey, we've got Murdoch on the line. Heads up. Landon, please. Please, Landon.
Murdoch, you need to upgrade
Landon,
your
no!
voice
No,
modulars.
Landon.
It's going a little fuzzy.
Oh no, I think Landon's comm's gone. Can I mute Landon? Please. Let me tamper with his mech. Let me mute him. Let him think he's talking.
I mean, so your choice. You can do that if you want to.
It'd be even better if Murdoch
I'm not really
was just
gonna
like,
try and stop Landon.
Oh my god.
Oh, I totally
fair.
would.
Honestly, fair.
If you're good with it, Ken,
Landon
like
from being anxious.
No, go for it. No, and
Yeah.
I'll just have myself. If it works, I'll mute myself while talking.
could we like maybe like
Well,
one
yeah.
of those nights when we're like both? Could I have like put in a little remote that's just like a little mute? Or
And
just
that-
like routes
why
it
not?
to my comm only, so if he is saying something important, I can unmute him.
Awesome. So, let's see if this works.
Can you hear me?
Hey, let's go.
So, Murdoch, just like 23rd, we've heard reports of seismic activity happening in your area. Do you see anything?
Just a bunch of defeated mechs because we're a solid unit, but nothing other than that, sir. I can have us take a look around. 23rd, do we see anything other than the inferior soldiers that they sent to trade us?
Don't be a dick, Patriot.
I'm sorry. I thought I turned your comm off. Hold on one second. Is it off now? It's not off.
No, it's not.
Okay, one second. All right, so I don't see anything other than other than the inferior units they sent after us. How about you guys? Anything?
And if you just do a firmware update on the voice
Okay,
modulation,
mute.
Still
Yeah, there's
not
nothing here.
unmuted.
There's nothing here, Murdoch.
can I roll to see anything?
Yeah, you can roll to notice.
Okay.
Okay, cool. We can do that. Cool.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I definitely see the voice modulation not being in proper effective use, and so I don't see anything at all, ever.
Oh god. Okay.
It's a -1. I see like Murdoch not listening to me, and maybe because I am muted, that no one can hear me.
I rolled a 0.
Nice.
I got a 1.
Oh lord. Okay.
What are we rolling again?
Rolling notice to
Notice.
see if you can tell, because Murdoch has reported there's seismic things, but nobody notices. Nice. All right. So
we
Rusty,
are killing it.
you're not seeing anything particularly, but you do see what looks like a dust cloud coming off, like further, from further down field. It seems to be kind of growing larger.
Do we see anything, guys?
I see some dust in the distance, maybe, possibly. I don't know. But also, if this R&D team, they should be working on that. And that's
So, I can see a dust cloud there, Patriot. There's something coming.
All right, Murdoch. Rusty's saying that he's seeing a dust cloud coming. Landon also sees the dust cloud. I think I can see something off in the distance. Not really. And Landon still has a few logistical things that he would like to discuss with you at a later time.
Can you get anything more than a dust cloud?
I
Like,
see
do
that your
visual contact,
shoelace
what's
is
going on?
untied too, sir.
We'll have to. I think we'll have to move in to take a closer look. I've got nothing more for you, Patriot. I'm afraid.
All right. In order for us to see anything more than that, sir, we're gonna have to advance on this dust cloud. Is that the order?
Confirmed. Weapons ready.
All right. 23rd, weapons hot. We advance on the sound cloud.
Did you say on the SoundCloud?
Sand cloud.
Awesome. Awesome.
This isn't Twitter.
Hey, here's my SoundCloud
Patreon.
link.
Hey, I just dropped a dope album. I just wanted you guys to check it out.
Yeah, your final enemy is like that one guy who will not stop trying to give you his SoundCloud.
Also, we finished the hype train. Thank you very much, everyone. Level 3 support. Everyone has been granted 2 automatic successes on their character sheet.
She at this point is inside, and she has been like strapping
Yep.
herself back in. And she goes, "Yeah, I hear you. 10-4 with y'all."
Excellent.
All right. So, let's advance, and also, I mean, I did send you guys the SoundCloud link, so if you need something to listen to as we advance, I mean,
The SoundCloud link is just to like a 3-hour version of the Firmament anthem. Like it's just it's like the
Should,
YouTube
like a
video.
dubstep beat.
Hang on,
Yeah, that's exactly
totally
what
got
it is.
I've got it. I've totally got it. We turn it on.
I just want my unit to be
Oh my
supportive of my
God.
hobbies outside of being military, man. That's all.
Beautiful. All right, so why don't we go ahead and resolve all of the things we have to resolve real quick, so we know exactly where we stand going into this last 45 minutes.
Okay.
So we got a whole hype train to finish, right?
Oh, we got
Oh,
stuff,
boy.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do we got? What do we got? We've got some disadvantages and some advantages and some nat 20s to hold
You've
up.
got 1 disadvantage.
Okay.
I've got 2 nat 20s and an advantage. Kent has 3 nat 20s and an advantage. Ray is stockpiling over there with 3 nat 20s and 3 advantages. And Noir has 3 nat 20s and 1 advantage.
Awesome. What else? And so, what do we have to do? Is there anything else we have to do to finish the hype train as we go?
No, that's it. That's it. We didn't hit level 4, so there's no deck of many. We hit level 3, which is
Thank
2 nat 20s for
God.
everyone.
No deck of 20.
All
for
right.
me.
Fantastic. Excellent. So we've got
All right.
that running. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
It's all on the overlay. The hype train will now be blocked off for like the next 2 hours, I think, and then it'll be available again. So that's
All right.
that's the hype train.
Well, do it again, folks. Get somebody else a deck of many and torture some other poor player and make them lose their things. Kent's had enough of that, I think. But
Had enough of it. Enough, I say.
all right, so you all sort of move in. You see the sort of dust cloud, and as it's getting closer, you can sort of start to feel the ground rumble. Because kind of to sort of catch up with that sort of thing that Monarch was telling you about, sort of like something seismic going on. So you can all roll notice one more time right before it like comes into actual view, and we'll see what it is.
Hi there. I would like to use my advantage.
Yes. Go. Do the thing.
Nice.
I
Kent.
hate roll 20 right now. In this particular
That's how
moment.
I always feel.
Oh my lord.
Nice.
To be fair, it could have been a -2.
It could have been.
It could have been, but it's not. That's good. So, Scrat, did you roll notice as well?
I did. No, wait. I haven't rolled another notice yet. No.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll just another one. All right.
There you go. There's that -2.
Well,
that
see,
we were
well,
talking
there
about.
we go. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, Patriot and Banshee, you both notice that this dust cloud doesn't appear to have anything in it. Like, it's not something that's moving, it's kicking up the dust, but something is causing the dust to get disturbed. Things are coming, it's starting to do that. And you start to see cracks in the ground start to spread, kind of like an old-style action, like, environmental disaster movie. There is a rapidly expanding, like, crack in the ground coming straight towards you.
You need to get up in the air. The ground is going to collapse. Everybody
You've
up.
gone
Let's go.
really quiet, Ray.
Voice modulator.
So
Whoa.
I'm seeing this as well, correct?
It's okay.
Hi, my
So,
name is
Patriot, you're seeing this as well, yeah.
Hoorah.
Wait, you said? Oh no!
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you're okay. You're okay. Okay, hang on a minute. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can be really cheeky with this.
Oh, did
Start,
I do
start
it?
that? Yeah, no, I did that. I can't start it for you again. When I turn it off, can you turn it back on again for me?
Okay, yeah. I was like, I didn't do that. I swear to God. I'm being framed. It's that fedora hat, motherfucker. Come to get his revenge.
Right.
All right, and we're gonna start. Boop.
All right, now, yeah, Kent, just restart your video as well.
I specifically did that because Kent loves to be flipped, as anyone who has run production with Kent knows.
Oh my God, I'm with a brick. I'm
Let
the
me know when to
banshee
start
now.
my video.
I'm
I
so sorry.
Oh,
You're good. This is fun.
We're good. We're in the right place. Yeah.
You okay?
Ooh.
Don't touch anything anymore.
Oh, you
And
still
we can
have
hear
it?
you again.
You're,
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
The voice modulator mic was a little bit quieter than your video,
Yeah.
I think. But so, but yeah, you sort of see like there's a giant crack coming down, like what looks like maybe the start of like an earthquake starting to rumble down towards you down this training ground. Both Patriot and Banshee noticed that. Rusty and Landon both see like a large dust cloud, and are like, "That's a large dust cloud."
Also,
That's
I think,
not normal.
The hacking system that Rusty may have put into Landon's mech may also just obscure everything at points, and it just like, why is this so faulty? I need to do a scan when I get back to the hangar.
Rusty put some upgrades into your mech without asking. All right.
It's probably just like a pencil with like a tinfoil wrap around it.
You've seen my repairs before. I'm
Patriot,
telling
Banshee, what are
you,
y'all
there is
saying?
no better temporary tensioner than an elastic band.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing this crack coming at
Yeah,
us like
so
full speed,
earthquake,
right?
yeah.
Right, all right, cool. So I am going to first off do more needless parkour because of course, just kind of flipping out of the way of the
Like
crack.
sit on the ground. Why not?
Yeah, I mean you got to do a needless backflip to the side, not backwards. Common mistake made in most movies. And I'm going to call in. The ground is breaking. Like there's, and I'm gonna describe exactly what I see in this sand cloud.
So Murdoch is just like, can you see a cause of what's happening? Does it seem to be? Can you find this? Can you see a source?
We would have to advance closer to where the ground is being sundered, sir. If that's your, like, just say the
Sir,
word.
If you would allow us fiber optics, we could have a better scan and we could see into this. But no, you want to use fucking pencils and tinfoil, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I just can't handle this right now, sir.
I'm
This
not
is a lot of
unmuting
stress.
him.
This is a lot.
Like.
You have field to command. I'm closing the mic. I'm sending reinforcements to your location. Make judgments as possible.
All right, we will advance towards the snow.
Not just me. Not just me.
That was me this time. That was me.
I'm so sorry.
The slight problem with using a voice modulator is occasionally you miss the change your mic button and hit the stop your
Yep.
video button,
Yep, that's what I did.
as I have just discovered.
And that's why it pays to be too dumb to know how to set up a voice modulator.
I need a deck. I need a deck. Oh well.
Can I say this is a great way to wake up in the morning?
I love
I'm
this.
having a
This
grand
is-
old time. So you know
This
what
is
we're doing.
it's so much goddamn fun. But yeah, I was just gonna say Patriot's gonna advance on the crack.
And I will also follow suit on the advancement.
Yeah, we're getting in there.
Yeah, right up in there. Okay.
And I think, yeah, definitely Landon will be a little bit on the background, like following.
Yeah, sounds
And-
good.
Yeah. I'm scared that someone's camera's gonna turn right off again.
So
I'm getting quicker at that than aren't I?
So Patriot and Banshee, you sort of move up into this dust cloud, and it comes kind of the crack in the ground sort of rumbles past where your Max were standing. Like you sort of all gotten out of the way and sort of split up and moved. And you're hovering, and it sort of tears through the city that you've just been sort of fighting in, in this training simulation area, and then kind of rumbles to a stop kind of at the end of it. And there's like a brief moment of silence, and then and the dust starts to settle. And then so which one of Banshee or Patriot? Which one of you was closer?
I'm probably behind Patriot.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, Patriot is not reckless, but he wants to be the point man. So yeah, he would be going first.
He'd be flanking to his right.
Awesome. So you see, it's something you see sort of down. It looks like it's sort of open to like a ravine underneath, into like a ravine sort of stretches into what looks like sort of like some sort of underground, like a cavern or some kind of open space underground that is sort of opened up down there. And you sort of see down at the very bottom what looks like sort of a shimmering light. It kind of moves the same way that Banshees like Spectrails do when thrusters are running, but it's waving sort of in place almost, like as if it's sort of rethink something as opposed to being like a thruster.
Banshee, this is looking like a you thing. You know what we're looking at down there?
Not entirely, but I can go down real quick if you want me to check.
Keep yourself hidden and tucked away, and give the word if you run into some heat.
Heard. Over. And I'm going to try and stealth my way down.
Okay, roll me some stealth.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
Somebody did not come to fuck around today.
Heck yeah. So you see, so Banshee sort of almost shimmers, right? The dark purple sort of like starts to like shimmer a little bit and blend into the rest of like the digital camouflage starts to sort of like work, sort of blends into the rock around and sort of starts to move down towards this thing. And Banshee, as you get closer, you see what looks like it has whatever it is like stopped here. It looks like it was moving from the direction kind of like underground from where you were at. And there's a part of it and what it is very clearly, it looks like some kind of mech, but it doesn't look like any mech you've ever encountered before. It's sort of most mechs tend just to have sort of very mechanical almost look to it. It's sort of either kind of sleek or sort of very mechanical. This one looks kind of organic almost, in that there's bits and pieces of it hanging tattered from the frame. And what Patriot sort of identified as a light, you can see now is sort of what looks like a wreath of something that looks like fire. It's sort of glowing like fire from where the neck opens up, and sort of like from inside the chassis, sort of like burning up and around its head.
I reiterate that, and I say some sort of biomech with some fire around its head. It's not anything I've seen before, but it's definitely interesting. If anyone else can make it down here safely and quietly, I think y'all should come look.
Quietly.
That sounds amazing.
That is the key word
you have
in
Patriot
this.
leading this right now, Banshee. Are you serious right now, Patriot?
I'm the one down here. He's not leading anything.
Yeah, I said Banshee because Banshee's the quiet one. All right, let me just turn off the feed.
Well, I was gonna say, is there a way that I could like feed, like give them a visual feed of what I see through my mech? Like,
yeah.
possible?
So you could theoretically do that if you want to, run.
I'll offer anybody to come down, but basically I'll give them either photos or video. I don't know how this works, but just try to give them a visual of what I'm seeing as well.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can link your
share
sensors,
screen?
right? Yeah. You can do a share screen.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
So you're gonna have to. What you're gonna do is you're gonna roll something that looks. Roll me like. So you can. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a two-parter. So you can roll me something like crafts to try and finagle your sensors to do that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then Rusty, I think Rusty or Landon or both of you, if you want, you can try to roll crafts and or lore to sort of help with the process of doing that, sort of directing Banshee on how to do that.
I'll use one of my nat 20s for this.
Sure. So
Wow.
it's +4.
I did with the +4, and I only got a 1.
Oh.
Well, you used the nat 20, right? So that's an 8.
Oh no, yeah, so that's right. So it's just it's just gonna be a 4 +4.
Oh,
So it's just an 8.
okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Gotcha. Well then, yes, I do that.
Awesome. So cool. We're gonna do that. And so you share your feed. And then Landon and Rusty, y'all rolled as well, just to sort of see how well you can maintain. You can sort of walk them through the uplink.
What am I rolling?
You can roll. You're rolling lore, and Krusty, I think you're rolling crafts. Those are your best.
Oh,
skills
I'm
for it.
rolling lore.
Yeah, so you're walking Banshee through the way to do that because this is a
right.
function that people know how to do. And Rusty, you're like tinkering with the signal and trying to make sure it stabilizes. All right, you got a 4 to that. Awesome.
All right, so Banshee, what you need to do is, do you see that one button on top of your mech? No. That's your power button. You know that.
I know that.
Okay.
And she's like,
Landon is like trying to sound super official, and like he knows that she knows this, but he's just like, no, that's the power button. Go to the button.
yeah,
that
like
is
in her mech, she's like,
the purple blue mech color button next to the power button has a screen share option, but then you have to go to your pad, and then you move it
with the pad, and then after I gotta switch this. Yep, I got
flux
you.
capacitor
Yep.
of the verbiage.
I flip the
Yeah.
switch, and
Now,
as
if
she
we
does
had-
that, she flips it, and it pops up on a screen.
Yep.
Whoa.
Honestly, I
It's-
removed all that in mine. All you've got to do is grease the flange, and then you can do it mechanically. Watch out for the grease nipple, though. It may give you some shaft issues.
23, I'm proud of us for not making a grease the flash joke.
Honestly, it took y'all like most of the game to get there. So you know what? I think we're gonna call that a win. I think we call that a win. Whew. So what you see sort of on your screen as you sort of descend down and sort of keep going, and it's sort of not moving. It's just sort of descending there. But in as you the Patriot, you're sort of like hanging up at the top, right? Just kind of there, kind of looking down, from what I can tell, right? Okay. And so you see, Banshee, what you see is that what looks very much like a head sort of in the middle of this sort of wreath of fire thing, sort of like you can see like one like sort of red eye sort of blaze to life and sort of start and turn to look up at Patriot. And the rest of you, since you're linked into Banshee's feed, you see this. Let's see if I can put it on the map here.
Hey, man, I might have a map screen that I can bring up if
No,
we're doing
hold on.
maps. Oh, would you look at it?
Oh my goodness.
I can
Holy
totally show this off to chat. I
shit.
can totally show this off.
I know exactly what that is because I play a Lancer game. And
Yeah, you know what I'm about.
oh boy,
I-
I knew it as soon as you said it.
I'm as soon as it kind of like flares up and looks up, she's gonna be like, oh shit, and she's gonna try to do like some sort of evasive maneuver to get out of the ravine as fast as possible.
Sounds like a plan, honestly.
Being the Walmart mech that I am, I see this thing looking at me, right?
Oh yeah. You see it. It's like directly
Okay.
looking at you.
Well, in response to that, I just have 2 words for you, my good friend. Yee-haw.
So, okay. I don't know if chat has gotten to see this thing, but we'll
It's
hold
coming.
off. Okay. Cool. I'll leave it up there for now. So, we're gonna roll notice for initiative one more time, and then we'll see how y'all end up at the end of this session. Okay. What is it with you and 3s, my guy?
Don't ask questions you're not ready for the answers to.
I'm doing amazing. This is my life now. We are living in the -2 world.
We are living.
In a -2 world.
Oh, boy.
I'm
I
a
have
-2
got
Are you
boy.
living? Is there living happening here? I don't know about that.
Well, damn.
So that's that. That's the thing you're doing. So let's see. Scrat, what'd you get for notice? All right, cool.
0.
All right, so ye your fucking ha is where you're at here.
Oh my god.
I've been waiting for you to say that to me all day.
Ye
Do it.
your last fucking ha, Patriot. Let's go.
I am going to call shot
Mm-hmm.
this thing directly in its stupid flaming head,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to use my nat 24.
Hell yeah.
Boom!
So what's your total roll?
So that means I need to roll shoot. So let's.
Well, I mean, just look. Tell me what your shoot score is, then add +4 to it.
My shoot score is a 2, so that's a 6.
Awesome. So you've got a called shot with a 6, right? And your stunt is whenever you succeed, you get to add an extra situation aspect, right? I believe.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. I pop a fate point, and I can get. I basically get to describe how screwed.
Awesome. So let's see what it's. Let's roll for its defense here. Because I keep getting things, keep getting rid of macros. This always takes longer. I should put it in a doc. That's what I should have done.
Next time.
All right, roll 20. What a great time for you to lag.
You live, you learn, you get lugs.
Hey!
Okay, so you do succeed. You succeed by 2.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of aspect are you trying to put on it?
I want this shot in its head to fuck with its sensor, so it has a hard time.
Okay.
Targeting us. I don't want it. I want it to have a hard time hitting me and my friends.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to change that for a second because this mech operates a little differently, but we're gonna give you something similar.
Okay.
What are you hitting? What are you shooting it with? First off.
Yeah, I'm hitting it with Becky, my revolver.
Gotcha. Okay. So Becky lets out a roar and the fucking shell fires out of this goddamn mech revolver, and it flies straight, it flies true, it punches right through the head of this mech. And like parts shat, like you see it, like it kind of blows a hole kind of in like the section of its head, like here, that kind of blows the side of it away, and you see like debris and things sort of fly away. But the debris, as it sort of flies away, breaks up and sort of almost as if like if you watch debris re-entering the atmosphere, burns up into that sort of blue-green kind of flame, and then the sort of wreath around its neck flares up, and you see its like head start to rebuild as it starts to pull back up. It's taking a minute to like regenerate and sort of recreate the piece that you blew off, and you can see it sort of like clittering back into place as pieces of debris form from the fire around as it sort of burns up. But like you've got that like super cool like one freaking eye socket on fire kind of effect coming out of it, and the flame starts to shrink and starts to burn up and replace the piece that you blew away.
Yeah, he's just spinning his revolver, blows the smoke off of the barrel, and goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, baby."
Nice. So, actually, who is up next? I think it's the mech.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, it's the mech. Okay, so yeah. So what it does is it sort of from sort of one arm, you sort of see like it sort of pulls one arm, and you sort of see like that sort of fire sort of start to burn out and create what looks like some kind of whip as it sort of pulls out, and it swings it at you, and the whip starts to elongate and expand as the distance it covers travels, and it whips out towards you at the end there, Patriot. And I need you to defend. Probably going to be an athletics roll this time around.
Okay. I think I don't suck at that.
Well, that's okay because the mech dude rolled garbage, so you're fine.
Yeah, Why would you say that to me?
You're fine. You're still fine. I rolled a -1. You're still fine.
Okay,
you're still good.
I had a panic attack. Like Rotating was like, "Oh, he's safe, huh?"
So this sort of streaks out. You manage to get out of the way just enough time. It sort of like strikes out, But what you see, Rusty and Landon, you see this whip sort of snake out, and the tip sort of like strikes out right to here on Patriot, and from the back end, like a backdraft of like blue-green flames sort of burns out the side in an explosion. Like it rattles, Patriot rattles your mech from the proximity of it, but you don't get hit by it. So that's good.
I'm turning the thieves. I'm turning the national anthem on.
Yeah. Pro tip: don't get hit by that. So next up is, I believe it's. Oh wait, hold on. I have to roll back in. Rusty and I think Ray. Yeah. So Banshee has a higher note than Rusty does, so I think you go next.
Okay.
So
how far away did I move from it when I did like that evasive maneuver attack so I could get some space? Like how far?
You're still within the same zone as it. You can still strike and move, but you got out of the way just enough time to give yourself enough distance.
Okay. I think I would like to try and use my stunt, my ninja vanish.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to spend a fate point to vanish in plain sight. And just kind of like do that like shift fizzle and almost have like a cloaking device go off.
Cool. So what you sort of see is like, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna lean into like the aesthetic for Banshee you sort of created here is that you flare the thrusters in your back and that sort of blue white like light halo starts to spread out, and like it's kind of almost like a flashbang where it sort of bursts and the light spreads out real quick, and there's like a burst of purple smoke from the exhaust as you flare out. And then in that space where Banshee used to be, gone. And you have moved somewhere else in the zone, but maybe
I just want to move a little bit farther back.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like shift to the side just in case they come up. They don't expect me to be right in their line.
Perfect.
And I want to shoot my needler at them.
Okay.
If possible.
Sounds good. I'm going to say let's say that you shoot the needler before you vanish, so that way you don't immediately give away where you are right after you vanish.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it like could do the same thing.
No, so you totally could. Like
shoot it and then move.
Yeah, we'll like poof and then fade back.
Yeah.
Cool. So roll to shoot.
Cool. Oh crap! I keep forgetting that I have like advantages and stuff that I can use.
Yeah,
but
use
it's fine. I will use it. Can I use one of them now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Because it rolled a 3, so it's gonna block.
Next time.
That's
I'll call it before next time. But
in the spirit of fate, you can choose to use things after you see the roll. I'm gonna let you use the things that you have as part of the Scratticus channel as well, in the same spirit, because it's the same thing. It's fine.
Cool. Well then, it'll block me anyways.
Okay. Awesome. So so you sort of you sort of send the needler out. You just take shots at the plasma, sort of like ripples out of your arm and sort of flies across it. And you see the sort of that blue green sort of weave or like wreath around it sort of stretch out and sort of circle around it. And as your plasma hits it, it sort of wraps up and around it, and they sort of both cancel each other out. And then you vanish back into smoke, and it sort of looks in your direction as if it's trying to find you, but then can't, and then settles back on Patriot. Okay. Rusty, you're up.
Right! You say there's a great big whip thing that we didn't even want to get hit by.
Yeah, don't get hit by the great big whip thing.
I want that.
Yeah, okay.
I want to go and try and land on its fucking wrist. And like, I want to wrench that. I want to get my arc welder and just weld that thing off of it. That is an upgrade right there.
Okay. So what you're going to see, so you can try to go for its arm. You're gonna have to. So you're doing a full drop. You're dropping like 3 zones down through this crack in the ground, landing on it, and trying to wrestle its arm off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. So so roll me drive to see if you can make this work.
Sure
and
thing.
You can overclock if you want to.
I don't think I'm gonna overclock.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna use one of them automatic successes with a +3.
Hey, there you go.
That'd be a 7.
7 drive? Yeah, that'll do it. So you like Rusty just falls with like I can't do that accent, but just like the equivalent of mine, and like falls down through the ground, like zooms past Patriots, goes past Banshee, and then lands sort of like arms on this mech sort of whip hand, sort of like tracks it all the way down, grabs, and then you're gonna have to make me once again an athletics roll to pull it off.
Oh, an
a physique roll. Sorry.
Could I? And I would be glad to wait a turn.
No, you can burn it. That's fine. Go for it.
Sledgehammer surgery
Uh-huh.
to try and like make this like I want to be like using the welder and shit to
Okay.
pull this thing off. Rather, I'm not just gonna. I'm not.
You're just gonna pull. All right, yeah. So yeah, go for it. Roll me. So do the craft roll for it. And you can use whatever successes /20s you have. Either way.
Well, I mean, we got to use them up, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
burn 'em.
I'm
Burn
doing
'em.
this for for science. I'm pretty good at craft, so I'm gonna just use an advantage this time.
Okay. Pretty good.
Okay.
Same
Even
thing.
fours. Even
Hey, fours are good. So you like land. You sort of the hammer sort of crashes down on the arm, sort of forces it downwards into like a disadvantage. So you can like pin it. Arc welder arm comes up and starts to like slams just to cut across this mech, and you start to see like that same sort of like blue-green sort of flame sort of fly out from the contact point of your arc as it sort of starts to burn a line through the mech's arm. You're not going to finish it this round, but you'll probably finish it next round. Okay.
Yeah.
Gawain,
Happy
you're
with
up.
that. Very happy.
Alrighty. So I see this. Well, first I see Rusty just go for the whip arm, and and I'm just like, interesting choice. I'm gonna fly right up to it, right? And I want to use like all my fate points. I want to use whatever I can to do a wave motion gun right on its face to completely distort it and like have it like cripple if it can. Like,
so here is what I will say about that. Your wave motion gun is a big finishing move. It's not subtle, and it's hard. It's not particularly something you aim. You just vaguely pick a direction, and everything in that direction goes
right,
kaboom.
because flavor text, he just added this thing today, and I don't even think Murdoch would approve of it. And so it's like the R&D. This is like his R&D resume. Like, this is like, look at me, R&D. Look what I made. Look what
I
can do for
made
you.
this. Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna roll your shoot. You're gonna roll your shoot to do the thing.
Okay.
If you succeed, which I assume you're burning a thing to do.
I am totally burning a thing
Absolutely.
to do.
So what's gonna happen is you're gonna spend a fate point, but you can deal the stress that you deal to everything in the zone.
Oh shit, Scrat's in the zone.
Right. Well, Scrat and Banshee are both in the zone.
Oh shit.
So
am I that guy? Oh fuck, am I that guy?
You're just like,
I am that guy.
I've got this.
That's what he was trying to tell you. You're totally that guy right now, and I'm loving it.
He's like, now's my chance to show off.
Now's my big chance.
Anime moment of like, I can do this. I can do anything. I have the power.
So, what is your total?
All right. So, wait, what do I hit? Wait, fuck.
So it's just whatever your shoot skill is plus. I assume you're burning the 20, so a 4.
Okay, so shoot is here.
Okay.
Could I also use? It's also a provoke.
I love that you're being introduced to Kent's style of play, which is if I use the right words, maybe you'll let me use all of these abilities. Can I?
I mean, that is how fate
conversationally
works most of the
run?
time.
And then also, it's a very tech savvy thing, and I'm tech savvy. So could I throw lore in, or is that just too much?
So you would have been able to add lore to build the thing, so you built it and it works.
Okay. So
provoke doesn't really work because you can yell all you want, you still have to aim the bloody thing.
that's a mood. That's a mood.
So other than that, so you're gonna run shoot, but you'll have the +6, and that's a pretty high score already.
All right.
And I believe I think Gawain has shoot as part of your mech skill, so it's actually a +7.
Could I have it try to focus so it's not as over crazy for the hitting like my party members, or is this more like
They gonna get wrecked?
This is the first test of it.
This is the first, so this is like you going, I have a chest beam! This is clearly the time to test the chest beam! Fuck it! Like, that's kind of how it goes. So, like, this is the first time you've actually fired thing. You're pretty sure you know how it works.
Let's just say I gave notice, but I may have been muted by Rusty.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just like, hey,
I'm
if
testing something out new. We're going big. Get out of the way if you can.
If you're in the vicinity of the robot, maybe don't be.
And like, Rusty is
yeah.
like, oh, that's something important, and unmutes on the very last word.
Yeah, mode.
Oh, you muted.
You muted yourself.
I did. You see the so there's like a brief moment of like that wonderful calm before everything goes horribly, horribly loud. And then just a beam of energy like spikes down from where Gawain is standing, crashes into this mech, and I need Banshee and Rusty to both roll me something to get the fuck out of the way. It's probably going to be athletics to get out, or okay. So actually, because of this,
drive.
you can use drive to get out. You can use Rusty. In your case specifically, you can roll like craft to try and figure out a way to improvise a way out of this mess and try to take less damage.
Maybe surf on the whip as it breaks it off.
What?
We'll see.
I could see this either being fight or craft, but
Yep.
like, can I try and twist its arm behind its back so I'm using it as cover and still wrenching the thing off?
Roll me fight. Yeah.
I
This
would
is
like
so
to use
bad.
a nat 20 and just drive to get out
Nope
of
the
the
fuck
way.
out of there. Seems
Yeah.
fair.
Nat 20, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'll do the same. I'm gonna burn my last nat 20. I have nothing
Okay,
else
so
to use
what
now,
numbers
John.
what numbers do y'all get?
7.
Seven.
Yeah, 7.
Sevens. Okay, so you guys match it exactly. So Banshee, you see that you're like, oh fuck, here we go again, and you like the grace, like that sort of blue white spectral trail of Banshee's mech sort of zips out of the ravine as the explosion is racing up behind you, and in your comms you hear Rusty go, oh fuck, and then like comms go to static. You just see this giant like wave motion go just crash down in the ravine. And then when the smoke clears,
You hear Patriot go, I want one!
Rusty, you are standing there with what remains of an extremely charred and burnt arm, and the whip is starting to, like, the parts of the whip that were out are starting to, like, are starting to disintegrate and fall apart. But you see the head of it sort of like the wreath of energy sort of dissipates, and the head sort of falls, clanks down on the ground, and the red eye slowly turns down to black. And there is
Did you
utter silence.
We did it!
Everything went
It
according to
worked.
plan!
It worked!
And then Landon's just like, okay, first test of Kami Kamaha Wave Beam. It was good, right, you guys? That was one of my better ones, right?
I
Didn't
like.
kill us in the process, so I'd consider that a success.
I'm gonna need 2 of those installed in my Patriot immediately.
Well, only if we had those fiber optic cables that we need.
I will get you the goddamn fiber optics!
Look,
feel
I
like
can
I'm gonna
probably
get, like-
make you something better than fiber optics if you just give me, like, a few days.
I feel like Murdoch's gonna yell at me again for this one.
Probably.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
wasn't a registered weapon, was it?
No, it uses dark core matter, and it also uses some
Oh.
yeah.
The hands on dark core matter, you can't get fiber optics!
Well,
That's a
You
good
know.
question. That is a good point. How did you get your hands on that if you can't get fiber optics?
you know that restricted room? It's not so restricted if you just walk
Oh
into
my
it.
God, Landon.
Goodness, Landon. If we end up getting any sort of detriment to the squad because of the shit that you have pulled today, so help me God, I'm coming after you. Personally.
But only after you add whatever it is that you have in my mech.
You
I
both
try to-
are going to be blacklisted for having unrestricted things on your mechs. You do know this, right?
It's only
Ask for
unrestricted.
permission
It's
first.
only unrestricted.
23rd, come in.
Hey, Murdoch, hey!
We
We
got a large seismic activity, and then it sounds like an explosion.
uh-huh.
Tell me what happened.
Sir, this is Landon Storm reporting in from Gawain. The target has been neutralized. There was a really things worked out and mission accomplished, sir.
That is correct.
Do you know, sir, it turns out this thing might have had some kind of dark matter core energy. And Landon here has got a really good idea about how we could possibly implement that.
It's brilliant.
Sir, it had a dark matter core in the middle of it, and so I used a laser on it, and we then partically disrupted it, and then
maybe save the whole briefing for when we're back. It's really effective.
Sir, effective, yes.
All right, 23rd. Fly on back. And next time, maybe remember to turn your cons off before you start lying to me.
Did I not turn that off?
Shit, are we on Vox? God damn it, Patriot!
And that's where we're gonna end.
No!
Oh, that was great.
Okay. So, to those of you who have joined us now at the last moment, thank you very much for watching Vault of Heaven. That's my anime RPG mecha nonsense trash fire. Huge shout outs to all of the players. Y'all were fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing this game with you at too early in the fucking afternoon on a Saturday. But you know what? Also, I'm awake now, so here we are. It's great. I don't know. Here we go.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do check out all of these fantastic players around the screen today. We'll go around in a second and get a wrap up. This is a 13-hour stream, so we're gonna go to a break screen for a little while while we set up the next game. But whilst we're taking a break, why don't you check out some of the following things? Come and scream about this one shot in our Discord, because that was fucking fantastic, and that is a great place to scream about it. Also, if you want to get into a game, send me a DM on Twitter. I'll get you a game. And YouTube, we have hours and 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 hours of content on YouTube. Also, check out our sponsors, Hero Forge. On Wednesdays, you can see us designing these things, full color minis. This is resin printed, not painted. This is printed in color. And on Wednesdays, you can see me playing with their beta creative tool. Also, check out the Deck of Many. We didn't get a Deck of Many roll this game. Probably, thank God, because that was chaotic enough. But you can, they create these wonderful cards that affected D&D play. And also check out Humblewood, which we play on Thursdays at 6 p.m. EDT. Also, check out Mage Hand Press for all of your 5e expansion needs. They currently have a sale on 25% off on all of their PDFs to support distant socializing. Deny anyone who says social distancing, as a side note. And you should go and check them out. We play their Faithfolio expansion on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EDT. Thank you very much, Kenjia. Check out Dungeon Fog as well. Dungeon Fog, our newest sponsor, with all of our map-making needs covered. You can go and check out their free tool, which lets you build comprehensive maps, and you can dynamically update things, and the GM notes update as you make changes. If you like the look of the free tool and you want to try out their premium features, do it with a 10% discount using our code SCRATAC. We're going to go and set up the next game. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Oh, let's go round. Let's go the other way around. Let's go start with Ray Witherbrick. Who are you? Where can we find you? What was your favorite bit? Hi!
Hey, I'm Ray. I'm Witherbrick. You can find me there on the interwebs. I have links to everything I do there, so I'll keep it short, sweet, and to the point. But today, favorite thing that happened. Honestly, this entire thing. I can't pick one moment that I love more than the others because this was just a chaotic journey that I needed. I have been so excited to play this since I got the message from Scrat, and I am just so stoked to have been able to play Mech Pilot and shoot some shit with some cool beams. So thanks for having me on. Thanks for running this awesome game, and I love this group. So
yeah, this is fantastic. We may have to follow up on this sometime. Next around the screen, we have Noir Enigma. Noir!
Hello, I'm Noir Enigma. You can find me on all the socials under Noir Enigma. That's your Instagram, Facebook, and SoundCloud. Oh, you can catch me on Sundays over at Chromatic Chimera, where I play a Lancer game with a pilot that is even more reckless than Patriot. You can catch me every other Thursday over on Valandria's channel in a Pathfinder game where I play a very confused Orc Barbarian. And that's that's kind of it. And also, we are starting work on Dr. D&D over on Encounter Roleplay, so that should be coming soon, where we answer all your characters' questions in-game, in-world. So that's me. It's been amazing playing with all of you guys. This has been so much fun. I also want to say everything was great, and I don't want to pick one, but I feel like that answer was taken, so I can't. No, I'm just kidding. I do have to say that everything Landon did was my fucking favorite. I love Landon with my whole heart. But that's me.
Landon must be protected at all costs.
He is Unit 23, baby.
What a wonderful segue as we go next around to Ken.
Hi, first day ever streaming. My name is Kent Weebs. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. I am doing 30 days more streaming every day. I'm doing a challenge before my 2-year sub-anniversary. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and all of you are fucking fantastic. Rio, amazing. Just fuck you. I was not awake when I woke up this morning, and I literally had 15 minutes to prepare, but thank you for guiding us through an epic adventure of like shenanigans. I am like blown away with your skill, and just like, holy fuck, you've woken me up.
Yeah.
And my favorite is just all of you guys. Like y'all are my favorite. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's all.
I think since this is like a whole like, John, have you streamed DM before?
I don't think so. I think this was my first time stream DMing. I've stream played a lot. I just haven't had a lot of time because I'm in grad school. But this is the first time I think. No. This is the first time. It's the first time I've streamed DM on this channel. I think I've DM'd once or twice before on stream. But
this is the thing. This whole point of the Academy Days is for new DM streamers, and who would have fucking known? That's my favorite bit. Not only for all of the amazing stuff that all of you viewers saw in this game, but also John, the fucking legend. Last night, as some of you know, we did a clean reinstall, and Windows decided that everything on my C drive must be program files, and therefore I didn't want it, which is how I've lost all of my scenes, all of my quotes, all of that stuff. I'm over it. John came and helped me build my character last night. He came on a Zoom chat, and like while I'm sitting there building this scene, he was making my character for me. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And John, RY0MASA, I hand over to you.
Hey, so hi. I was your GM / creative fuckery today. I am RY0MASA on Twitter, RY0MASA, because somebody has my fucking handle. Give it back. Other than that, though, I play a couple games here and there. I play against on this channel on Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. EST for New Acadia Nights. We actually just, I think, passed our halfway mark, so we're ramping up into the season there. As well as on Thrall on Unmade Gaming, which is a gritty sort of a dark fantasy D&D campaign that we run at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. Like I said, this is my first time DMing on this channel. I've played a couple times here before, but I also DM'd at least I think once or twice on Welcome to the Party, where I've shown up there a couple times as well for their 3v stream. But this has been my first time again DMing here, and it was really great to do it with all of y'all. I can't pick a favorite part. Like I'm just gonna say that. Like it was just so much fun. I'm glad I accomplished the goal of waking you up, Kent. I'm glad that's the start to your morning, and you had a good time going up into that. But yeah, other things. I'm also working on a new project. A bunch of my friends and I are professional musicians or opera singers, and so we're working together on a D&D sea shanty project. So it's like a bunch of rewrites of lyrics as well as original sea shanties about set in D&D and the Forgotten Realms and other adjacent worlds. As well as I'm also working. Noir calling me out entirely with his character aesthetic. I'm also working on a setting port of the Witcher setting to fast forward 200 years into an industrialized Western. So Witcher is the thing that I'm working on currently. Hopefully I'll run that maybe on this channel. I don't know. But that's the thing that I'm working on. That is probably my passion project for a bit. But hopefully we'll see more of that after May, when my thesis deadline is over.
Yes, good luck with your thesis. Well, everyone, this is amazing. Okay, we are gonna go. Do check out the credits. If you liked any of the music today, I saw a couple of people commenting on it. It's all with attributions, Creative Commons Attributions 4.0 license, so all of the links and everything are in the credits. You might need to pause and go and link.
Oh my god, I forgot something. Like I can't just drop like my thesis is out there and then not say what that is. I feel like that's just bad form. Can I wrap?
Yeah,
okay.
go for it.
Sorry, I like literally forgot I do things that aren't play games online. So in my other time, I am a graduate student in a clinical mental health program for drama therapy, which is a subset of the creative arts therapies. My focus and my thesis is on the viability of tabletops and LARPs as therapeutic tools. So that's what I'm working on, which is why I get to quote things like the Stormwind fallacy in an academic paper, which is hysterical. Okay, that's it. I'm done.
And also, John is credited as one of the people who helped us build a lot of our documentation here on the channel as well. So I'm not sure, John. Are you consulting on that stuff, or is that something you're still considering?
Huh?
Are you considering?
Yeah. So yep. Okay, there was another thing I do. So I also do some consulting as well on some intersectionality stuff, specifically focusing on experiences of like a second-gen immigrant American or Asian American, and I also do some work with community safety and policy. I do a bunch of different incident reporting and stuff at various conventions. So that's a thing that I'm also working and doing. So yeah.
Lots of love. Okay, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna put how many minutes am I gonna put on this clock here? How many minutes? I'm gonna put about 20 minutes on the clock, I think. 25 minutes, just in case we have any errors. Like I say, I'm starting with a whole new setup today, so there could be some things that, well, hopefully we'll go there. So I'm gonna put about 25 minutes on the clock. We will be back very soon. Keep on evoking emotions, everyone. We'll be back after the break.